Teach, he must pay the price. Boom. The extremely powerful and terrifying Conqueror's haki erupted from Whitebeard's body, instantly forming a tsunami-like shockwave that swept across all directions. Whitebeard was furious, more furious than ever. At this moment, the world was shocked. The sky was covered with dark clouds, and thunder and lightning flashed. It seems that God was also frightened by Whitebeard's anger, so he had to create lightning and thunder to counter Whitebeard's anger. Afterwards, the Whitebeard pirates held a funeral for the dead Sarge. And the kill order issued by Whitebeard spread throughout the New World in an instant. The major forces, pirates, and kingdoms in the New World have learned of this amazing news one after another. Before Lucifer appeared, the Whitebeard pirates were the strongest existence in the world, and the atmosphere in the group was harmonious, like a family, and there had never been any betrayal by members. For the first time in decades, Blackbeard killed his companions and defected. Whitebeard's coercion was provoked, and many pirates admired this guy named Teach, who dared to do such a big thing inside the Whitebeard pirate group. Hey, did you guys hear that? Whitebeard has a kill order. Of course I heard. This guy named Teach is really amazing. Dare to kill your companions in the Whitebeard pirates. How brave is this guy? Do you want to participate in this hunting operation? As long as you kill Teach, you can join the Whitebeard C10 Thieves group and get Whitebeard's asylum. At that time, we will have a strong backer. With Whitebeard as a backer, you can walk sideways in the New World. For the conditions set by Whitebeard, countless pirates in New World were all crazy, like sharks smelling blood. They took action one after another. They have only one goal: kill Teach, and take his head Whitebeard pirates to receive the reward. Whitebeard's reward is much more attractive than money. It's just that some people are crazy with envy, while others remain steadfast, unmoved by Whitebeard's attractive reward. They are all reasonable people, and from this incident, they saw the mortal danger. Locke, aren't you going to find that Teach? In a tavern, a group of powerful pirates found a man. His name is Locke, and he is an independent pirate with strong strength. Recruited by many pirate groups, but has been fighting alone. I am not interested. Locke shook his head. I advise you not to join in the fun. This incident is not something people of our level can participate in. Teach can kill one of Whitebeard's captains, and his strength is definitely not weak. The most important thing is this time period. The Nether pirates are powerful, and there is a possibility of a battle with the Whitebeard pirates. It is very dangerous to join the Whitebeard pirates at this time. In the all-out war between the two strongest pirate groups, can you guarantee that you can survive to the end? Locke has been able to get along like a fish in water in New World, relying not only on his great strength, but also on his wisdom. He knows very well that at this critical moment, joining the Whitebeard pirates is not only not beneficial, but very dangerous. The power of the Nether pirates is now known to the world. The Big Mom pirates and the Beasts pirates were eliminated successively. In Locke's view, the Whitebeard pirates did not have much chance of winning either. Unfortunately, Locke's reminder did not make the group of pirates give up. After all, it is the Whitebeard pirates, and Whitebeard's reputation has been deeply rooted in the hearts of the people, and few people can refuse his protection. Such an opportunity is rare in 100 years, and I will not give up. That's right, kill that Teach and join the Whitebeard pirates. At that time, we will be members of the Whitebeard pirates. A group of pirates walked out of the tavern, and went out to sea vigorously to hunt down Teach. Watching them go, Locke shook his head. It's hard to persuade the damn ghost. He can't stop the person who wants to die. Situations like this happened all over New World, and 80% of the pirates in New World were dispatched to chase and kill Teach. Some weak people dare not fight Teach head-on, so they follow his trail secretly and sell information. This alone can earn a lot of money. Some pirates have found a way to riches by accident. Because of this, Blackbeard Teach's whereabouts were soon exposed, and he was endlessly hunted down. New World is really lively during this time. On Qinglong's head, Lucifer was holding a newspaper, with a sneer on the corner of his mouth. What was published in the newspaper was the event that Whitebeard issued a kill order. I didn't expect Dark Fruit to come out at this time. Is it because I changed history? In the original book, Dark Fruit only appeared around 1520 in the Sea Circle calendar. At that time, Lucifer hadn't gone to sea yet, but was about to go to sea. Afterwards, in order to hunt down Blackbeard, Ace met Luffy halfway and met for a while. At this time, Ace has just joined the Whitebeard pirates and has not yet become the captain. So I didn't go out to sea to hunt down Teach. Dark Fruit has the power to restrain all devil fruits, and is known as the most vicious ability. I don't know who will beat who compared with my word Spirit Fruit. Lucifer smiled coldly, and threw the newspaper down into the sky, flying in all directions. Today's Lucifer has awakened the fruit of words. In terms of ability alone, Lucifer doesn't think dark fruit is better than word spirit fruit. If adding Hockey's strength, Lucifer's overall strength is much stronger than Blackbeard's. A mere Blackbeard, Lucifer didn't pay attention at all. Come on, make it bigger, and see how much fun you can add to the next century war. The green dragon danced in the clouds, whirled the wind and howled the sea, and soon disappeared in the sky. First half of New World, on Red Force. The red-haired Shanks looked at the newspaper in his hand and remained silent. In terms of understanding of Blackbeard, Lucifer ranks first, and Shanks ranks second. He was the first to discover the great power and ambition of the Blackbeard. Sure enough, Blackbeard made a move. Choose at this critical moment, that bastard. Don't rebel early, don't rebel later. Blackbeard chose to rebel on the eve of the war. As a result, Whitebeard has to be distracted from dealing with Blackbeard, and it is difficult to concentrate on preparing for the big battle with Lucifer. Blackbeard. The redhead touched the scar on her eye, where the scar was aching. He has traveled all over the world and has experienced hundreds of battles. He has received countless injuries and scars. But the only thing that still hurts so far is the 3 scars left on the eyes. It was the scar Blackbeard had given him. In battle, he was neither careless nor distracted. Since then, the redhead has discovered the great strength of Blackbeard. I also know the huge ambition hidden in Blackbeard's heart. He'd love to remind Whitebeard, but never had the chance. Blackbeard's betrayal was already expected by the red hair, but this time period was too bad, which made the red hair very worried. Shanks. What are you going to do? Beckman came to the redhead and asked in a low voice. I can't help it either. The redhead shook his head and said, now we don't have the energy to deal with Teach, the main target must be on Lucifer. Although knowing that letting Teach escape will cause endless troubles, the redhead still plans to get rid of Lucifer first. After all, Lucifer is undoubtedly a greater threat than Blackbeard. Let's go. Gather your troops. To defeat Lucifer, our current strength alone is far from enough. While the Whitebeard pirates are gathering their troops, the Red Hair pirates are also gathering their troops. Although Whitebeard has made it clear that he will not join forces with him against Lucifer, but the redhead has to intervene in this war. He knew that the next all-out war was the best chance to deal with Lucifer. This battle is, on the surface, a decisive battle between the Nether pirates and the Whitebeard pirates. But Redhead knew that naval headquarters would definitely intervene, and so would he. Gather the Whitebeard pirates, naval headquarters, and Red Hair pirates to take on Lucifer. Although the parties are fighting alone and not teaming up, the Red Hair pirates, Whitebeard pirates, and naval headquarters are all targeting Lucifer. Different routes lead to the same goal. This is the most likely chance to root out Lucifer. There is only one chance, fleeting. Naval headquarters has released the latest bounty for the ghost pirates. The reward amount for Lucifer has not changed, it is still 6,052,500,000 Baileys. When the bounty reaches a certain level, it is meaningless to increase it again. Lucifer is like this now. Killing Kaido and destroying Beast's pirates will not improve Lucifer's threat and strength. Anyway, whether he does it or not, naval headquarters in the world government have listed him as the most dangerous pirate in the world. The Red Earl's bounty has not changed, and his degree of danger does not need to be proved by the bounty. But the bounties offered by other members of the Nether pirates have been greatly increased. In particular, legendary pirates such as Shiryu of the Rain and Berndi Valdo have all received their due bounties. Whitebeard E. Edward Wable, who offered a bounty of 1.57 billion Baileys, committed a heinous crime, regardless of life or death. Charlotte Katakuri, who has a bounty of 1.457 billion Baileys, is a heinous crime, regardless of life or death. Raytheon Enel, offering a bounty of 1.428 billion Baileys, is a heinous crime, regardless of life or death. Shiryu of the Rain, with a bounty of 1.395 billion Baileys, has committed a heinous crime, regardless of life or death. World Destroyer Berndi Waldo, offering a bounty of 1.38 billion Baileys, is a heinous crime, regardless of life or death. The Evil King, Abalo Pizarro, offered a bounty of 1.338 billion Baileys. Xuanyue Hunter, Katrine Demai, offered a bounty of 1.398 billion Baileys. He committed a heinous crime, regardless of life or death. San Juan Wolf, with a bounty of 1.27 billion Baileys, is a heinous crime, regardless of life or death. Deju Basque Chote, with a bounty of 1.255 billion Baileys, is a heinous crime, regardless of life or death. Charlotte Smoothie, with a bounty of 1.232 billion Baileys, has committed a heinous crime, regardless of life or death. Charlotte Cracker, who has a bounty of 1.16 billion Baileys, is a heinous crime, regardless of life or death. Inulin, offering a bounty of 1.020 billion Baileys, is a heinous crime, regardless of life or death. The Cat Viper, offering a bounty of 1.015 billion Baileys, is a heinous crime, regardless of life or death. White Shinigami Simon Hay, with a bounty of 844 million Baileys, is a heinous crime, regardless of life or death. Caesar Clown, offering a bounty of 822 million Baileys, is a heinous crime, regardless of life or death. Jack the Ripper, with a bounty of 790 million Baileys, is a heinous crime, regardless of life or death. Weasel Cavendish, with a bounty of 735 million Baileys, is a heinous crime, regardless of life or death. Battle Maid Baby 5, with a bounty of 710 million Baileys, is a heinous crime, regardless of life or death. Not counting Lucifer and the Red Earl, the Ghost Pirates now have 13 big pirates with bounties exceeding 1 billion. The number is equivalent to the sum of the top cadres of the four Emperor's pirate groups. There are also a lot of people with a bounty of 700 million, and more than 50 people with a bounty of more than 500 million. The 4 Emperor's pirates are no longer enough to describe the horror of the Nether pirates. Lucifer felt that only the Locks pirates back then had such terrifying combat power. It's getting more and more interesting. On top of Qinglong's head, Lucifer dropped a stack of reward orders, and he still let him float in the wind. As for himself, he flew to Wano-Kuni on Qinglong. A few days later, Lucifer returned to Wano-Kuni. The army of the Nether pirates is still stationed here. In the palace of the general's mansion, many cadres gathered together. Captain Lucifer, all the islands left by Kaido have been occupied. Enel stepped forward and said respectfully. Shiryu of the Rain said, the territory has been developed into a line, and the islands in the buffer zone have all been subdued, and the next step can be planned. Whitebeard is next. Pizarro was holding the wineglass, with a hint of ferocity on his face. Whitebeard is kind of ashamed these days. Waldo said mockingly, if anyone dares to betray Lousy, Lousy will definitely cut them to pieces. Waldo was arrested and imprisoned more than 30 years ago when he was betrayed by his pirates. After he was released from prison, the first thing he did was to find his remaining subordinates and drive them out. To say who hates the traitor the most, Valder deserves it. Captain, we can go to war. Everyone looked at Lucifer, eager to try, with high fighting spirit. Lucifer smiled charmingly, and said, although fighting Whitebeard at this time might be bullying the old man, but Whitebeard is not an ordinary old man, so I think he won't mind. Is it still the same as before, sending troops to fight against the old Whitebeard pirates? Cavendish asked. But the Whitebeard pirates don't have a lair, do they? The main ship of the Whitebeard pirates has been wandering in the sea, and its whereabouts are uncertain, which is different from the Big Mom pirates and Kaido of the Beasts. Find someone to give him the gauntlet. Lucifer looked around the crowd and said, who wants to take a trip? I go. Shiryu of the Rain spoke first. I go. Let me go, Captain Lucifer. Long time no see Whitebeard, good time to catch up. I can too. Let me go, just to meet the former #1 in the world. Shiryu, Pizarro, Waldo, Choate, Enel and others spoke one after another. Sending a letter of war is very dangerous, but none of them was afraid. Enel, I'll let you go. Lucifer looked at Enel and said. Enel is fast and can fly, even if he is besieged, he can escape. It is most suitable for him to send the letter of war. Give it to me. Enel grinned, looking excited. Lucifer immediately wrote a letter of war, agreeing on the time and place of the decisive battle, and handed it over to Enel's servants. Enel took over the tactics, and with a flash of lightning, he had already flown into the sky. A piece of sea in New World, sunny and calm. There was no banquet on the Moby Dick. Sage died just a few days ago, and the members of the Whitebeard pirates have not yet come out of their grief. 2 pirates stood on the watchtower and looked around. They were responsible for observing the surrounding sea area, discovering potential enemies in advance, and escorting Moby Dick's voyage. Call out. A flash of lightning flashed in the clouds and was accurately captured by the pirates. Hey, look over there, a pirate shouted with a telescope. The companions around him also looked through the binoculars at the same time, and sure enough, they saw the existence of lightning in the clouds. Lightning is very fast and is approaching them quickly. What's that? Weather change. Lightning has no substance, so the 2 pirates thought it was a natural phenomenon. At that time, when the lightning was getting closer, the two pirates felt uneasy and hurriedly sounded a warning. "Father, there is a flash of lightning approaching in the northeast direction, it may be the enemy." The pirates' warning sound made everyone alert immediately, and the pirates on the ship looked northeast at the same time. Sure enough, there was a bolt of lightning in the clouds there, traveling at a very fast speed. Ordinary pirates only feel a little strange, but the outstanding captain of observation Haki has already sensed the breath of the beast. Is it Thor? Marco flew to the mast, stared at the distant lightning with a pair of dead fish eyes, and muttered to himself. Marco can only think of one person who can turn into lightning and possess such a powerful aura, Enel, the god of thunder. He dares to break into the territory of our Whitebeard pirates, he is too arrogant. Foil Vista has drawn out his double knives, with a murderous look on his face. If he dares to come, let him come but never return. Diamond Joz is also ready to go all out. The newly joined Ace is even more vicious, and his body is already burning with flames, ready to attack at any time. Is there only one person here? The brat is really arrogant now. Whitebeard sat on the sofa without getting up, watching the lightning in the sky with a calm face. Call out. In a flash of lightning, Enel appeared on the bow of the Moby Dick. Clang. 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 With a flash of knife light, Enel was already surrounded by members of the Whitebeard pirates. Yeah, ha ha ha, are the welcome ceremonies of the Whitebeard pirates so special? Even in deep encirclement, Enel did not show fear, but laughed wildly. Thor, are you here alone to die? Marco stepped forward and said blankly. Yeah ha 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 ha, there are no idiots who want to die in this world. Enel said, Captain Lucifer has a gauntlet for Whitebeard, so can I see Whitebeard? Idiot, who will let you get close to Dad? Yes, if you dare to come to the Whitebeard pirates to play wild, you can't take a step. You're going to die right here. How dare you come to the Whitebeard pirates to send a letter of challenge, you are too arrogant. Where do you think this is? You are dead today. Enel's arrogant attitude made the Whitebeard pirates furious. The crowd was furious, and more than 1,000 pirates were ready to kill. As long as there is an order from the captain, everyone will rush forward and cut Enel into pieces. Let him come here. Suddenly, Whitebeard's voice sounded. Father, can you? Joz, who was standing next to Whitebeard, was a little hesitant, he was afraid that Enel would play some tricks. Gu la 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 la, it's okay, let him come over. Whitebeard laughed boldly, that brat, Lucifer, isn't up to the tricks. Although an enemy, Whitebeard still admires Lucifer. He has never met Lucifer, but he knows Lucifer's character well, he is not a despicable person who can play tricks. Many pirates parted ways and went straight to Whitebeard at the end. Enel walked through it, facing the vicious pirates around him, his expression remained unchanged, showing boldness and courage. Finally, Enel came to Whitebeard. It was the first time he saw the former #1 in the world. Whitebeard's huge size and indistinct momentum made Enel's heart skip a beat. With just one glance, Enel already knew that he was no match for the old guy in front of him. Little devil, bring the letter. Whitebeard said, looking down at Enel. Enel grinned, pulled a letter from his pocket, and threw it at Whitebeard. The letter was wrapped in lightning, and in a flash of lightning, it was caught by Whitebeard. Such a small trick, of course, is of no use to Whitebeard. This time Whitebeard didn't tear up the letter, because it was after the war. After reading the gauntlet, Whitebeard suddenly laughed wildly. So la 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 la, Lucifer, that brat, is really arrogant. Father, what did the letter say? Marco asked hurriedly. It's nothing, it's just the time and place of the decisive battle. Whitebeard threw the gauntlet to Marco, then looked at Enel, go back and tell Lucifer that Lousy agreed. 7 days later, a battle will determine life and death. It is good. Enel grinned and wanted to leave. Suddenly, he stopped and looked at Ace among the crowd. You are the Fire Fist, right? Your life is really big, you can survive Shiryu's hands. You are the first one who can escape the pursuit of the Nether pirates. But hiding in the Whitebeard pirates won't save your life, I hope you won't run away after 7 days. Don't worry, I won't run away. Ace took a step forward and growled. After 7 days, I will cut off Lucifer's head with my own hands, and make him pay the due price. Ha 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 ha, the tone of a mere brat is quite loud. Enel smiled instead of anger. A rookie who said he was going to cut off Lucifer's head was a big joke to him. If you can do it, try it yourself. After finishing speaking, Enel directly turned into a bolt of lightning soaring into the sky, and disappeared out of the sky in an instant. When the two armies are at war, they will not be beheaded. Although beheading Enel can weaken the strength of the Nether pirates now, Whitebeard will obviously not do such a despicable thing. Wano Kuni Prison, mine. A group of pirates mine here and do coolies. They are all pirates who are not strong enough. Even if they surrendered to Lucifer, they didn't want them, so they were left here to mine. Among a group of pirates, 2 pirates are very conspicuous. One is Quinn, whose body is very fat, like a meatball. When mining, the fat on my body trembled, and every time I trembled, the sweat fell off like rain. Damn Lucifer, let Lousy do coolie for him, I can't spare him. Every time Quinn opened the mine, he would curse in a low voice. Okay, Quinn, now is not the time to complain. People under the eaves have to bow their heads. Next to her was a beautiful woman who was about the same size as Quinn. She was Black Maria. Quinn glanced around, feeling sad. It turned out that he was in charge of the Rabbit Bowl prison, and every time he watched other people mining and doing coolies from above. But today, it was his turn to mine and work as a coolie. When will Lucifer come back? Lousy can't stand it anymore. Quinn wanted to surrender Lucifer a long time ago, but Lucifer didn't come back. Even if he wanted to surrender, he couldn't find anyone. Seeing a group of miscellaneous fish and pirates controlling him from above, Quinn felt uncomfortable all over. Just when Quinn was complaining, Lucifer's voice suddenly sounded. You're doing well here, Quinn. Quinn turned his head and saw Lucifer on the high platform at a glance. There is so much fat on your body as a coolie every day, it seems that you are not serious about your work. Quinn was about to cry. During this period of time digging pits and doing coolies, his weight dropped off. This is not serious, so what is serious? Lucifer, I surrender, let me out. Quinn is not as tough as Jin, and he doesn't plan to be buried with Kaido. Seeing Lucifer coming, he begged for mercy. Lucifer glanced at Quinn, then at Black Maria. What about you? Miss Black Widow? Black Maria smiled dryly and said, of course I am willing to surrender, and please take Master Lucifer in. Lucifer smiled slightly, I just like smart guys like you. Come here, uncuff them. Obey. The 2 pirates stepped forward and uncuffed Seastone for Quinn and Black Maria. Having regained his freedom and regained his strength, Quinn could not help but yelled. It was fun, and the feeling of being restrained by Seastone handcuffs was too uncomfortable. Get ready. We're going to fight the Whitebeard pirates soon. If you don't want to die, adjust your state as soon as possible. After speaking, Lucifer disappeared directly in Taijong. Quinn and Black Maria looked at each other, a little speechless. This is too exciting. Just out of prison, they are going to fight the Whitebeard pirates, and they are not prepared at all. The large-scale mobilization of the Nether pirates and the Whitebeard pirates naturally couldn't hide from the eyes of naval headquarters. At the same time, Sangoku also got Lucifer's letter of challenge to the Whitebeard pirates through the undercover agent. The 2 Four Emperors pirate groups have decided to go to war, and the naval headquarters has also begun to act. Marineford, Marine Large Meeting Room. A battle conference of the highest scale is being held. Sangoku looked around and said, everyone, we have received accurate information that Lucifer is going to fight Whitebeard. Where and when did the war start? Asked a Marine Vice Admiral. This is not clear yet, and the undercover agents are still doing their best to find out. Sangoku's undercover status in the Nether pirates is not high, just a small captain, unable to detect the exact time and place of the war. Lucifer also knew that there was an undercover marine in the pirate group, but he didn't care and didn't track it down. Just a few undercover agents cannot affect the overall situation. As long as the strength is strong enough, it doesn't matter if all the internal information is leaked, Lucifer can still break the law with force. Although we don't know the time and place yet, it's always right to prepare early. Sangoku continued. The world government has ordered that the entire naval headquarters army be mobilized this time, vowing to eradicate Lucifer completely. If there is a chance, even the Whitebeard pirates will be eradicated together. If the Nether pirates and the Whitebeard pirates can be wiped out together, New World's pirate power will be negligible. We Marine may have a chance to wipe out the pirate threat from the world. At the thought of the possible victory, many Marine executives in the conference room were very excited. Sangoku said, to ensure victory, I have ordered the Shichibukai to be summoned. With their participation, our chances of winning will be better. Shichibukai? Are they trustworthy? A bunch of scum from the sea, don't rebel against Lucifer. Some Hawks Marine Vice Admiral looked disgusted. None of them trust Shichibukai very much. While the Shichibukai are a force under the Marine banner, they are ultimately a lawless bunch of villains. Given the chance, naval headquarters would also like to eradicate them together. This is the absolute justice that their Hawk Marine believes in. After Sengoku's order was issued, the Naval Headquarters fleet was dispatched. The New World G1 branch has already guarded 100,000 troops. Now Naval Headquarters has mobilized another 100,000 troops, for a total of 200,000 troops. In addition, Marine 3, Admiral and Field Marshal Sengoku played in person. To deal with Lucifer, Naval Headquarters can be said to be out in force. One more thing, Sengoku didn't tell his generals. That is, in this war, the Red Hair Pirates will also participate in the war. They are allies of the Naval Headquarters. Marine and the Four Emperors have teamed up, and such news cannot be leaked. So the only people inside Marine who know about it are Marshal Sengoku, Chief Staff Officer Suru, and 3, Admiral. New World, Cry Island. This is an uninhabited deserted island. The island is full of ruins and wreckage left by the war. Only a castle in the center of the island is intact. This is the residence of Mihawk, the world's #1 swordsman. In the castle, Hawkeye held a letter, and the corners of his mouth curled up into a smile. The decisive battle of the century that affects the whole world is really interesting. It's been a long time since I've seen you, and I can feel the bloody fighting spirit of a warrior. Hawkeye has been the world's #1 swordsman for too long, and he has no opponent for a long time, which makes Hawkeye very boring. On weekdays, he can only go with the tide in a coffin boat, looking for those unremarkable pirates to pass the time. Day and night, he was looking forward to someone who could have a good fight with him. This opportunity finally came. Not only the former world #1 powerhouse Whitebeard, but also the new world #1 powerhouse Lucifer, as well as the old-time pinnacle sword winner Red Earl Rider. Whether it is a strong man or a great swordsman, every eagle eye of these three people wants to fight. This battle will determine the direction of the future world and change the pattern of the world. No one can survive alone. The eagle eye saw the raging sea in the distance through the window, and a pair of falcon pupils exuded infinite coldness. Afterwards, Hawkeye picked up the black sword Yi Yi and walked out of the castle. He Dao Yi, who was carrying on his back, let out a sword cry, as if he was excited. Calm Belt, Daughter Island. In the palace, a quarrel is taking place. Snake Girl, if you don't go to the war, Marine will deprive you of the title of 7 Warlords of the Sea. At that time, Daughter Island will be in danger. Granny Nu leaned on her snake stick and shouted loudly at Empress Hancock. So what? No matter what I have done, I will be forgiven. Because, the concubine's body is so beautiful. Empress Hancock raised her head, pointed her chin at Granny Nu, and said arrogantly. The Amazon warriors next to him saw Hancock say the classic lines, their eyes lit up and they turned into little hearts. Their bodies and minds have been captured by Hancock, and even Granny Nu has been tempted from time to time. But soon, Granny Nu came to her senses. Snake Girl, do you know what the upcoming battle means? The Ghost Pirates and the Whitebeard Pirates are in a full-scale war. If the Ghost Pirates win, they will completely become the overlord of New World. From now on, no one in New World will be able to compete with it. Naval Headquarters will never let this kind of thing happen, so they will call up the army to participate in this battle. 7 Warlords of the Sea, as a force under the government, must also participate in the war. This is a mandatory call. If you refuse, you will be hit with full-scale retaliation afterwards. Snake, do you want to watch Daughter Island be destroyed by Marine? Huh? So what? Hancock said indifferently. Granny Nu wanted to speak again, but was interrupted directly by Hancock. Shut up, old woman, you've babbled too much nonsense. This is my palace, get out of here quickly. After speaking, Hancock grabbed Granny Nu and threw her out of the window. The people next to her didn't stop her, and no one worried that Grandma Nu would leave the group. Although she is old, she is still very strong. Even if it falls from a palace tens of meters high, it can still land safely. When Granny Nu left, only Empress Hancock and her 2 younger sisters were left in the palace. Different from the previous arrogant and willful, Hancock at this moment is very serious, with a dignified expression. What Granny Nu said, she blocked her mouth. She also knows the serious consequences. It's just that Hancock doesn't want to fight for the government of the world. Inhumanly abused many years ago, Hancock hated the celestial dragons in the world government. Most importantly, Hancock didn't want to make Lucifer his enemy. The world does not know that Hancock, the Queen of Pirates, is the #1 fangirl of the devil Lucifer. Ever since Lucifer bulldozed Marie Joyce and killed countless celestial dragons, Hancock became obsessed with Lucifer. Sister, I really don't plan to join the war. That's right, If they don't join the war, naval headquarters will definitely destroy the entire daughter island. Marine's new warships are now free to enter and exit the comm belt. Both Boa Sandersonia and Boa Marigold are worried. Daughter Island was originally located in the comm belt, surrounded by the lairs of large sea kings, which is the strongest natural barrier, and outsiders cannot approach at all. However, the new type of warship developed by Marine can block the breath, and the sea kings cannot launch attacks. In this way, the natural danger of Daughter Island will no longer exist. With the power of Marine, as long as he wants to, he can destroy the entire Daughter Island at any time. The most important thing is that they can't even escape. Because Daughter's Island is a country, there is no escape. You go out first, let me think about it. Hancock bit his nails, frowning. The underwater world, the Fishmen Island. In the Dragon Palace, Haishia Jinbei and King Neptune sat facing each other. I heard that Naval Headquarters has issued a compulsory summoning order for you. King Neptune said. Ah, that's right. Jinbei nodded. Are you going to fight? Of course not. Jinbei shook his head and said, first won't help Marine in this battle. Have you made up your mind yet? King Neptune knew his old friend well. Although Jinbei didn't say anything, he already guessed Jinbei's next plan. That's right. Father Whitebeard has sheltered the Fishmen Island for many years. Even if it is to repay his kindness, I will help him. Even if I pay for this life, I will not hesitate. Sorry, Your Majesty. Jinbei knew that once he helped Whitebeard, he would surely offend Naval Headquarters and be deprived of the title of Shichibukai. In this battle, the goal of Naval Headquarters is to eliminate Lucifer. But Jinbei knew that Naval Headquarters wanted to eliminate Lucifer and Whitebeard at the same time. Jinbei helps Whitebeard, is against Naval Headquarters, and they will never tolerate it. Don't thank me, Jinbei. Neptune said, we, the Fishmen Island, owe Whitebeard too much, and it is only natural that we should repay him. It's a pity that, as a king, the old man is too cowardly to add strength to him. No, Your Majesty, your heart is enough. As he spoke, Jinbei picked up the wine bowl and drank a bowl of fine wine. Your Majesty, the old man is one step ahead. After finishing speaking, Jinbei directly got up and walked out of the palace. Outside the Dragon Palace, all the members of the Sun Pirates are already waiting here. Following Jinbei's order, the entire Sun Pirates set off for New World immediately. The first half of the Grand Line is a 3-no island. As a 3-no island, the order is very chaotic, and it is full of killing and blood all the time. However, not long ago, the arrival of a person changed the pattern of the island. He is Green Pepper, a legendary great pirate in the old days, and one of the new 7 warlords of the sea. The island occupied by Qingzhou was used as a temporary home, and all the criminals on the island were suppressed by him. Grandpa, there is a letter from Naval Headquarters asking you to participate in the all-out war against the Nether Pirates. Lao Kai held a bat and delivered the letter to Qingzhou. After reading the letter, Qingzhou looked dignified and remained silent. Grandpa, do you want to join the war? The news that the Nether Pirates are about to fight the Whitebeard Pirates has spread all over the world. At this moment, every 10 corners of the world are discussing the upcoming war. Even if we don't join the war, we can't escape. Qingzhou looked at the sea outside the window, and felt that an unprecedented powerful wave was sweeping. In front of this wave, no matter where you are or where you hide, you cannot avoid Qi. He had only seen such a wave once. That was the day when the One Piece King Roger was executed many years ago. At that historic moment, Roger's words before his death opened the era of great pirates. Since then, the wave of the times has swept the whole world, and no one can avoid it. Qingzhou has lived for decades, from the old age to the new era, and no one knows better than him what the next battle represents. Looking back, Qingzhou said, you guys stay here and make a circle. What? How can that work? Lao Kai and Abu Sa'id hurriedly. There's nothing wrong with it, obediently obey the old man's orders. Qingzhou showed an unprecedented serious expression, and ordered forcefully. After the war is over, if the old man doesn't come back, you should immediately lead the 8 Treasure Water Army back to the Country of Flowers. Lao Kai, from this moment on, you are the pillar of the 8 Treasures Navy. The Green Pepper seems to be entrusting the funeral. In the upcoming war of the century, he is not sure that he can come back alive. In an unassuming town tavern on the Grand Line, Blackbeard reads the newspaper, bites into a Sakura peach pie, and grins. Thief, ha 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 ha, is it finally about to start? I have to hurry up and act. Under the pursuit of the sky and the earth, Blackbeard managed to escape back to the first half of the Grand Line after all, temporarily getting rid of the pursuit. Lucifer declared war on Whitebeard, which greatly relieved the pressure on Blackbeard. Let's fight. Let's fight, the more intense the better. When you both lose, then it will be the era of lousy. Blackbeard's ambition has not weakened, but has grown infinitely after getting the dark fruit. He knows that now he is not Lucifer's opponent. But Blackbeard has faith in dark fruit and his own alien body. He believes that as long as he gets a more powerful fruit ability, he will be able to defeat Lucifer sooner or later. When the time comes, the world will be his. Boom. The door of the tavern was pushed open, and a giant burly man walked in, accompanied by harsh laughter. Why ha 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 ha, I found you, Captain Teach. The boat is ready, when shall we go? The person who came was the fighting champion Giza's Badgers. Behind Badgers, Van Oka, Lafitte, and Drug Q followed. In the original books, these people are the original crew of Blackbeard. These people are still being found by Blackbeard today. Everything seems to be a fate. Thief ha 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 ha, let's go then. Blackbeard swallowed the last piece of Sakura peach pie, got up and left the tavern. The four of Badgers followed behind him. A group of people swaggered in the middle of the street, and passers-by gave way one after another. In the first half of the Grand Line, the five of them were almost invincible. Naval Headquarters, Marineford, Naval Headquarters. Sengoku sat on the marshal's seat, expressionless. He is waiting for news. The war will break out soon, and all pre-war matters must be done to the best to ensure that there is no cure. It can increase the chance of winning by 0.0001%, and Sengoku will do it with all his strength. Garp, wait, I will avenge you soon. Sengoku looked at the bag of senbei on the table and thought in his heart, I will make Lucifer, that bastard, pay what he deserves. Since Garp died in battle, no one has barged into his office, drank tea, ate senbei, or made a scene with him. Thinking of all the past, tears welled up in Sengoku's eyes. He is very sad. But the more sad, the stronger Sengoku's killing intent. From the day Garp died in battle, Sengoku has been suppressing the killing intent in his heart. All in all, just to end Lucifer. Boom. Suddenly, a Marine Rear Admiral pushed the door open. Report to Marshal, Shichibukai Hawkeye, Green Pepper, Big Bear and the two newcomers have all confirmed to join the war, but Empress Boa Hancock has not yet replied. There is also Jinbei. He has made it clear that he will not accept this summoning order, and at the same time, the Sun Pirates under Jinbei's command have disappeared. Are there 5 out of 7? Sengoku narrowed his eyes, emitting a cold light. He was not very satisfied with this result, but it was expected, so it could only be said to be so-so. Because of Lucifer, 7 warlords of the sea was hit hard and suffered heavy losses. Naval Headquarters took a lot of effort to fill the numbers. The new trio would join the battle Sengoku had known for a long time. When a newcomer joins, he must do something to secure his position as Shichibukai. Big Bear is a loyal Marine, so it goes without saying. Needless to say, Hawkeye, he was bored and probably came to pass the time. Sengoku is not afraid that he will catch fish. There are many strong players on the battlefield, and with his eagle-eyed character, he will definitely make a move. Although the Empress is a woman, Sengoku is well aware of her abilities. The One Piece who has awakened Conqueror's Haki is very powerful. Although he has not expressed his position now, Sengoku can still fight for it. But Jinbei, who made it clear that he refused to participate in the war, undoubtedly annoyed Sengoku. That bastard Jinbei, did he hang out with Whitebeard? Sengoku is well aware of the relationship between Jinbei and Whitebeard. Sudden disappearance at this critical moment is definitely going to New World to help Whitebeard. Sengoku looked at Marine Rear Admiral, and said, contact Flying Squirrel, let him continue to win over the Pirate Empress, and at the same time let her know the consequences of disobeying the call, and win her over as much as possible. Time waits for no one, give her another day at most. Tianao, if she still doesn't agree, she will be deprived of the title of Shichibukai directly. Yes, Your Excellency the Marshal. Marine Rear Admiral saluted respectfully and immediately exited the calendar office. While all parties are in action, the 5 elders of the Holy Land are not idle. Although the war has not yet started, the tense atmosphere has enveloped the whole world. Pangu City, between the powers. The war is about to start. Should we be able to completely wipe out that evil brat this time? Curly-haired 5 elders raised his eyebrows and looked at the people next to him. Naval Headquarters has 200,000 elites, plus Whitebeard pirates, and Red Hair pirates. This kind of combat power is enough to destroy the entire world. Absolutely. Holding a sword, 5 elders drew out the katana in his hand, with a cold light. You can't relax, you have to make sure nothing goes wrong. The blonde-haired 5 elders held a stack of reward orders, on which were Lucifer and various members of the Nether Pirates. Let the CP people also dispatch. The long-haired 5 elders slowly opened their eyes, with infinite killing intent in their eyes. Any action that may increase the chances of winning must be done, and Lucifer must be completely eliminated to survive. The bald 5 elders said solemnly. But with so many troops sent out, the Marine and the world government are too empty, right? Curly 5 elders hesitated. Naval headquarters sent out the whole army, even the CP, naval headquarters and Marie Joy's will fall into an unprecedented weak state. If someone invades Marie Joy's at this time, the consequences will be disastrous. That's right, that bastard Lucifer will probably make a fuss. If he invades the Holy Land while we are sending out all our troops, the consequences will be unbearable. Several 5 elders hesitated. After all, they are still afraid of death. The older people are, the more afraid of death they are already very old. And high weight. As the 1.7 masters in charge of the world, they are extremely powerful and enjoy endless glory and wealth. No one wants to die. They are far from alive. Just in case, you can order the celestial dragons in the Holy Land to leave Marie Joy's temporarily and take shelter in the Holy Palace. Even if Lucifer comes, he can only find an empty shell of the Holy Land, which has no effect on the overall situation. On the contrary, if he breaks away from the army, he will kill the Nether Pirates. Okay, that's a great idea. Just do it. Demon Lucifer, the Nether Pirates, this time we will definitely eradicate this group of garbage on the sea. The blonde 5 elders swung the bounty in his hand. Holding a sword, 5 elders suddenly drew his sword, cutting all the reward orders into pieces. Endless murderous intent erupted from the 5 elders, covering the entire space of power. The murderous intent rushed out of Pengu City and scattered to every corner of Marie Joy's. Above the Holy Land, the guards, marine soldiers, slaves, and celestial dragons who sensed the murderous aura were all terrified and trembling. New World, Desert Island, also known as Infinite Desert Continent, Life Forbidden Zone, Death Jedi. The island is uninhabited, birds and beasts are extinct, and there are almost no traces of life on the entire island, only endless deserts, rocks and gobi. The island is scorched by the scorching sun all year round, and the maximum temperature during the day can reach 70 degrees, making the living environment extremely difficult. People with insufficient strength can't live on the island for a day, so it is called the restricted area of life and the Jedi of death. Lucifer's chosen battlefield is here. The 2 armies fought in the death penalty area. Even if they did not die in the hands of the enemy, they might die in the cruel environment of the island. On the endless sea, the large fleet of the Nether Pirates and the Whitebeard Pirates arrived at the sea area of the desert island at the same time. Captain, I found the whereabouts of the Whitebeard Pirates. On the main ship Nether, Cavendish shouted with a telescope. Everyone looked at the sea level in the distance, and several black spots appeared there. As time went by, more and more black spots became bigger and bigger, quickly turning into pirate ships. The number of pirate ships exceeds 100, and the total number of people is no less than 20,000. Of course, the strength of the Nether Pirates is no less than that of the Whitebeard Pirates. This time, Lucifer brought a total of 30,000 troops. Seeing the appearance of the Whitebeard Pirates, all the members of the U-10 Pirates are ready to fight. At the same time, the Whitebeard Pirates also discovered the Ghost Pirates. Dad, Lucifer is here, on the Moby Dick, the observer shouted. All the pirates on the main ship walked to the side of the ship at the same time and looked in the direction of the Nether Pirates. Father, the Ghost Pirates have more people than us, said a pirate. HMPH, fighting depends on strength, not numbers. Without strength, an army of 1 million is nothing more than that. Foil Vista said with a cold snort. Ha 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 ha, well said. Atmos the buffalo laughed loudly. Little ones, let them come and go today. There is no back and forth. Destroy the Nether Pirates. Kill. The loud shouts of killing echoed in the sea, even though they were tens of thousands of meters away. Lucifer and the others could still hear them clearly. Enel grinned ferociously. Aren't these bastards really arrogant? Captain, do you want me to give them a gift? Enel's body flickered with lightning. As long as he is willing, even at this distance, he can launch an attack. Endless lightning bombardment, safekeeping can cause heavy casualties to the Whitebeard Pirates. Don't worry. Country Lucifer shook a glass of red wine gently and said calmly. Brew brew brew. Brew brew brew. Suddenly, a hurried phone bug sounded. After Baby 5 was connected, a pirate's call came from the opposite side. Captain Lucifer, the whereabouts of the Marine fleet have been found in the county waters. Marine. Sure enough, they are here. Shiryu and the others stared coldly. None of them were idiots, so they naturally knew that Marine would take advantage of this opportunity to take advantage of it. How many are there? Baby 5 asked. The pirate responded. We made a rough count, and there are no less than 150 warships in the Marine fleet, and there are still behind, but they can't be seen clearly. This time, all the warships of the highest standard in Marine. 150 warships of the highest specification, each carrying 1,000 people, add up to at least 150,000 people. If you add those in the rear, it is roughly estimated that the total strength of the Marines will reach 200,000. Everyone calculated Marines' total strength in an instant. There are so many people. Shiryu of the Rain gave a bloodthirsty smile. HMPH, the more people come, the better. The more people there are, the more enjoyable it is to kill. The evil King Pizarro grinned. HMPH, a bunch of stinky men, so rude, I just want to fight the young and handsome Marine. Catherine Demai said. TCH, ugly woman, didn't you see your mercy when you killed someone? Everyone rolled their eyes wildly, expressing disdain for Katrine. Generally speaking, the atmosphere of the Nether Pirates is very relaxed, facing 200,000 Marines without any fear. On the contrary, everyone was a little gloating. Lucifer also showed a weird smile. The more people come from Marine, the better. Today's decisive battle of the century in the restricted area of life is bound to be infinitely exciting. At this moment, Jack jumped down from the observation deck. Captain, the Whitebeard pirates have sent a light message. It is good. Lucifer nodded. Send me the order, the whole army lands. No one is allowed to attack without my order. The order was issued, and the large fleet of the Nether pirates began to approach the desert island, and then landed in the north of the island. At the same time, the Whitebeard pirates landed in the southern part of Desert Island. Although the desert island is barren, it has a large area, and it is more than enough to accommodate 1 million troops. In the end, the two parties confronted each other in the center of the island. Today, the temperature on the desert island is not very high, only 60 degrees. The situation of the bottom pirates is also very good, but they are sweating like running water. Such high temperature and harsh environment naturally cannot affect Lucifer, Whitebeard and the cadres of the two parties. Where is Lucifer? In the Whitebeard pirates, Ace saw the army of the Nether pirates, and almost couldn't bear it anymore, so he forced his way out. Fortunately, being suppressed by Marco, he was not impulsive. Don't worry. Wait for father's order first. Clang. 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 There was a sound of knives, and the pirates of the Whitebeard pirates branched out a path, allowing Whitebeard to go to the front. The huge size of 6.66 meters is very conspicuous, full of hockey. Goo. Where's Lucifer the kid? Where's he? Looking for Lousy, you won't be too scared to show up? Whitebeard laughed boldly, and his voice spread throughout the two armies, detonating in the ears of tens of thousands of people. Huh. A strong wind rolled up in the sky, and Lucifer fell from the sky and landed in front of the two armies. I'm here, Basie. Lucifer crossed his arms, also full of hockey. Whitebeard, is this the first time we've met? You are really old, you can't even hold a knife? Gu la 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 la, you really are an arrogant brat. Seeing Lucifer appear, Whitebeard laughed again. Even if Lousy is old, it's easy to hit you as a brat. Before the war, Lucifer kid, do you want to think about being my son? As soon as the voice fell, the air was dead silent. The strong wind on the desert island blew past the front of the two armies, leaving a trace of embarrassment. Marco covered his face with his right hand, and the surrounding Beasta, Josie and others were also a little speechless. They didn't expect that their father's hobby of adopting his son would explode at this time. Lucifer was deadpan, unimpressed by Whitebeard's idiosyncracies. Seeing that you were full of energy in your speech, it seems that you are in good health. In this way, I can rest assured, otherwise killing a seriously ill Whitebeard will make the world laugh at me for bullying the old, weak, sick and disabled. Google la la la, if you can do it, come on, Lucifer brat. Whitebeard smiled ferociously, and the Conqueror's hockey erupted instantly. The blood-red Conqueror's hockey swept towards the Nether pirates like a tsunami. Small tricks. Lucifer's eyes are red, and he also opens Conqueror's hockey. The same red hockey blasts out, coming head-to-head with Whitebeard's Conqueror's hockey. The Conqueror's hockey of the two formed two semicircular shock shields, collided with each other, and countless black and red lightning bolts erupted at the junction, crisscrossing. Wherever the lightning strikes, the ground cracks and rocks are shattered. In the end, the conqueror's haki soared into the sky, pierced through the thick clouds above the desert island, and broke through a large hole with a diameter of more than a kilometer. Boom! A loud crack shook the sky as Lucifer's conqueror's haki broke through Whitebeard's conqueror's haki, crushing it to powder. On the other side, Whitebeard's conqueror's haki was broken, and he took a step back involuntarily, with an extremely serious expression. "Whitebeard, you look really old." Lucifer smiled indifferently, raised his right hand and lowered it lightly. Kill the Whitebeard pirates." As soon as the words fell, the 30,000 troops behind Lucifer immediately rushed out and killed the Whitebeard pirates. Kill the Whitebeard pirates. Whitebeard's head is lousies. After today, the Whitebeard pirates will disappear completely. Quack quack quack. The sound of shouting and killing resounded all over the field, and once the Nether pirates made a move, it was earth-shattering and earth-shattering. Naturally, Whitebeard would not retreat, and also gave the order to attack. "Let's go together and destroy the Nether pirates. Kill." The 20,000-strong army of the Whitebeard pirates also rushed out, fighting with the Nether pirates. The war is on the verge of breaking out and becomes intense in an instant. Lucifer. In the crowd, Ace let out a roar and rushed towards Lucifer. A huge flaming snake exploded from his right arm, sweeping away all the pirates in front of him. "Get out of the way." When Ace saw Lucifer, hatred burst into his eyes. At this moment, he is like a mad beast, only seeing Lucifer and no one else. All those who stood in front of him were burned to ashes by the hot flames. "Hey, Shiryu, is that the one who escaped from his hands?" Enel glanced at Ace, with a hint of mockery on the corner of his mouth. Shiryu of the Rain's face was frosty, and a red light flashed in his eyes. "I will erase this mistake immediately." With a flash of blood, Shiryu directly turned into a ball of flowing blood, shuttled across the battlefield. All the pirates who were exposed to blood along the way were drained of blood and turned into dry mummies. Blood sickle attack. A round of blood slashed through the air, sending Ace flying tens of meters. Ace flew upside down, smashing a group of pirates to their knees. Cough cough cough. Ace got up from the ground, spitting out a mouthful of blood. Seeing Shiryu of the Rain, he also gritted his teeth, and his killing intent increased greatly. "It's you bastard." There are 3 people that Ace hates the most in his life. His biological father, Roger, did not say anything. Kill Garp and Lucifer, who ordered the destruction of the Spades pirates, as first. Shiryu of the Rain, who killed himself, came in second. Shiryu bit his cigar and exhaled a puff of smoke ring. "Little devil, I let you escape last time, you will not be so lucky this time." Ace spit out a mouthful of bloody phlegm. "If you can do it, try it." Fire punch. Ace's right arm turned into flames, and a huge flaming fist roared out, causing the surrounding air to heat up rapidly. Shiryu gave a bloodthirsty smile, waved the thunderstorm fury and slashed, blood slash. The huge blood slash was bombarded with the fire fist, the blood was evaporated by the flame, and the flame was also split by the blood slash. With a loud bang, the goblet of fire was completely torn apart. The blood slashed continuously and flew to Ace's chest. Boom. At the very moment, a cloud of blue flames descended from the sky, completely destroying Shiryu's blood slash. Marco flapped his wings and came to Ace, with a solemn tone. "Ace, don't be careless, this guy is very strong. You step back, he will be handed over to me to deal with." After all, Ace is still too immature. Even if he has the ability of Logia, he is not the male pair of Shiryu who has been famous for a long time. "No, Marco." Ace refused. "Only this one, I must defeat him with my own hands." "Ace, don't be impulsive." "I'm not being impulsive." Ace glanced at Lucifer in the distance, gritted his teeth and said, "I already understand, I can't defeat Lucifer. So only this person, I must defeat with my own hands." Looking at Shiryu of the Rain, Ace's eyes were on fire, and the temperature of the flames erupting from his body increased sharply again. Marco took a deep look at Ace, knowing that Ace had made up his mind. "Since you have decided, then do it. Now that a man has made a choice, stopping him is despising him." Wu Shuang Rice Cake Blade Bomb. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Suddenly, countless pitch-black bullets shot, instantly turning Marco into a hornet's nest. Regarding the hole in his body, Marco was indifferent, but turned his head and looked at Katakuri. A blue flame ignited at the wound, and all the wounds healed. The healing power of the phoenix fruit is extremely heaven-defying, more powerful than Logia's elementalization. Logia elementalization cannot resist the attack containing armament Haki, and will be damaged by the entity. But the phoenix fruit is resistant to all attacks, full of attacks containing armament Haki. Instead of dodging an attack, it takes it and then heals its wounds. So even if Marco faced Katakori's armament Haki bullet, he didn't need to dodge. Katakori, long time no see. Marco stared at the dead fish eyes and greeted Katakori. Originally, Marco was the second character of the Whitebeard Pirates, and Katakori was the second character of the Big Mom Pirates. The two have fought many times in the past. Katakori retracted the rice cake machine gun and said in a deep voice, "Yeah, it's been a long time." Marco said, "I didn't expect that we would meet in this situation. Lucifer killed Big Mom, but you still work for him, it's not like you." Katakori did not respond, but said lightly, "Stop talking nonsense, let's do it." Call out. Boom. Katakori and Marco attack at the same time. Katakori's speed was extremely fast, and the black shadow disappeared in a flash. Marco turned into a blue flame and collided head-on with Katakori. A terrifying shockwave erupted, instantly shattering the ground, causing strong winds to blow in all directions. The number 2 members of the Imperial group fought together again after a long absence. Neither Lucifer nor Whitebeard has a shot yet. Since it is an all-out war, of course the strongest boss will not end at the beginning. Red Earl Rider walked behind Lucifer and said calmly, "With your strength, it shouldn't be difficult to defeat Whitebeard. Why don't you make a move?" Lucifer smiled faintly, "It's no fun if the war ends too soon. Besides, the actors haven't arrived yet, how can the performance end?" Defeating Whitebeard was really easy for Lucifer. But the Marine fleet hasn't arrived yet. Now that Whitebeard is defeated, what should the Marine fleet do if they run away? Also, Lucifer wanted to catch more than just Marine. There's another big fish that hasn't appeared yet. Boom. Suddenly there was a loud noise on the battlefield. Diamond Chows punched the rocky ground, and the strong wrist burst out, instantly cracking the ground. The shock wave spread in a ring, and the ground cracked a circle. Afterwards, JOZ dug out a huge rock with a diameter of more than 300 meters and slammed it towards Lucifer. "Try if you can stop it." Accompanied by Jose's roar, huge boulders soared into the sky, directly blocking the sun. Everyone looked up, only to feel that a hill was falling on top of their heads. Hey, isn't this too big?" The evil King Pizarro glanced at the boulder above his head, revealing a pair of dead fish eyes. "That's right, it's not cute at all. My wife hates this kind of man who can only use brute force." Catherine Demai glanced at JOZ and lost interest in flirting with him. Red Earl Rider stepped forward and suddenly pulled out the long knife from his waist. Whoosh. In an instant, more than 20 sword chi pierced through the air, instantly smashing the boulder as big as a hill into powder. Seeing that the opponent's tricks were cracked, the morale of the Nether Pirates was immediately boosted. Such a huge boulder was chopped into pieces in an instant. Red Earl, he is the Red Earl. The super big pirate of the old era, an existence on an equal footing with Daddy. Such a terrifying person, why did he seek refuge with Lucifer? Seeing the Red Earl standing next to Lucifer, members of the Whitebeard Pirates felt a tinge of fear. The name of a person, the shadow of a tree. This is an existence that is equal to their father, and their fear of the Red Earl is born. "Don't be afraid, stupid sons," but as an old fellow. Whitebeard let out a roar, suppressing the fear of his pirates. His gaze spanned the battlefield, locking on to Lucifer and the Red Earl. "Ryder, I didn't expect you to be inferior to others, and you're following a runny-nosed brat. No matter how strong Lucifer is, he is still a runny-nosed brat in Whitebeard's eyes. After all, the age gap between the two is there. To put it bluntly, when Whitebeard hit the sea, Lucifer's dad probably didn't even give birth to Zoo." Ryder smiled indifferently, "Things are impermanent, and I didn't expect that I would get to where I am today." "HMPH, arrogant guy." Whitebeard scolded with a smile, with a cold gleam in his eyes. It has to be said that the lineup of the Ghost Pirates puts a lot of pressure on Whitebeard. Not to mention Lucifer, just a Red Earl who regained his youthful peak combat power gave Whitebeard a headache. After all, he is old and his fighting power is no longer what it used to be. Boom. 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 Suddenly, bursts of roaring sounded on the battlefield, and the entire desert island trembled. Everyone raised their eyes and saw a huge figure appearing behind the Whitebeard Pirates. He is more than 30 meters tall and close to 40 meters tall, Every step he takes leaves a pothole on the ground, which is his footprint. The huge body brought a huge sense of oppression, which changed the faces of many pirates. Oh, is it the ancient giants? Lucifer narrowed his eyes. He has seen giants before. Ordinary giants don't have such a huge size, only ancient giants have them. 38 meters tall, really big. With such a huge size, Lucifer had to look up to him. Oz, kill them. Chop them. Let them see how powerful you are. The morale of the members of the Whitebeard pirates was greatly boosted, and they roared in secret. Ozzy leads the way, armed with a giant machete. With a furious slash, it was like a broom sweeping through the dust, and hundreds of nether pirates were knocked into the air. Ozzy will not armament hockey, but the blood of the race brings him incomparably powerful power. His slash is stronger than that of many advanced armament hockey users. This is the so-called qualitative change in power. Break through all methods with one force, boom. Oz rushed forward all the way, and the weak pirates rushing forward couldn't stop him at all. Hey, who's going to stop that big guy? If he is allowed to tear open the gap in the battlefield, the nether pirates will lose face. Enel used the Thunder Dragon to turn a group of pirates into charcoal and said, I'm not free right now, who of you is free? The evil King Paisalo was blocked by Diamond Chowsy. The two fought fiercely and could not escape. Hey, blah, blah, let me go up, a mere ancient giant is nothing. Guy laughed wildly, and turned into gas and flew towards Oz as he spoke. To be honest, few people in the Nether Pirates really put Oz in their eyes. Although the giants are huge in size and terrifying in strength, their huge size slows down their speed and makes their movements sluggish. This is simply a living target. Die to death, gas laser gun. Guy opened his mouth wide, and a blue gas laser shot out of the air, spanning thousands of meters in an instant. Just when he was about to hit Oz, a slash pierced through the air, blocking the laser beam. Gas bastard. Where are you looking? A pirate captain wearing a helmet jumped into the air and chopped Guy off with a single blow. This is a pirate captain under Whitebeard's command. There are not only powerful captains in the Whitebeard pirates, but also all the captains affiliated with the pirates are famous figures in the New World. Boom. Ozzy charged forward again, and he cut down hundreds of pirates again. What a hassle. Lucifer shook his head speechlessly, raised his fingers and snapped them. Bad Wolf, it's up to you. As soon as the words fell, a group of black shadows immediately descended from the sky and landed heavily on the battlefield. When the black shadow landed, a powerful shockwave erupted, sending all the pirates flying in all directions, and at the same time setting off dust all over the sky. Countless pirates closed their eyes and covered their faces with their hands. When the dust cleared, they saw a mountain over 100 meters in front of them. As the eyes moved up, everyone in the Whitebeard pirates was stunned. They discovered that this was not a mountain, but a person, a supergiant with a body size of nearly 200 meters. Ah, no, it was discovered. San Juan Wolf covered his cheeks, as if afraid of being discovered. But unfortunately, he could cover his face, but he couldn't cover his body. San Juan Wolf is also from the giant family, but he seems to have a genetic mutation, and his body is as high as 180 meters. You know, ordinary giants are only 20 to 30 meters. The ancient giants were only 30 to 40 meters long. The wolf with a height of 180 meters is 5 to 6 times that of ordinary giants. Are you kidding? How could there be such a big man? This is not a myth, nor are we dreaming. How can such a person defeat him? The pirates of the Whitebeard pirates were all sweating and their legs were shaking. An Aussie of less than 40 meters can boost their morale, and now a wolf of 180 meters can make them despair. Bang, 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 bang. Some daring pirates fired bullets and shells at the wolf, but unfortunately, neither the bullets nor the shells could hurt the wolf's skin. Like Oz and many giants, the wolf can't learn armor and observation hockey. But his innate powerful body brings incomparably powerful defense. Even a high-level armament hockey attack may not be able to break through the wolf's defense. Hey, bad wolf, don't stand still, Lucifer whispered. Yes, Captain Lucifer. The wolf stood up, and the huge palm fell down. Rumble. The ground was shaken, and hundreds of pirates were directly beaten to a pulp by the wolf. The evil wolf came out with both hands, and directly tore open the formation of the Whitebeard pirates, killing a bloody path. As the battle became more and more fierce, the entire battlefield has become a meat grinder. Pirates die all the time. San Juan Wolf, what a great guy. Whitebeard knew San Juan Wolf of course. Speaking of which, Evil Wolf is still Whitebeard's senior. When Whitebeard first debuted, Evil Wolf was already named Hi-Hi. The giant race has a long lifespan, and decades are but a journey in life for the Evil Wolf. Damn bastard, come at me if you have the ability, don't do anything to my subordinates. The captain of the 7th team, Lachio, swung a mace with a mace and hit the wolf with one hammer. The wolf's skin was sunken, and then the fat meat flicked, and the hammer flew directly. It hurts. The wolf was expressionless, but said the most exaggerated words. Then a palm fell, directly hitting Lachio into the air, like hitting a fly. Stop it. I'll deal with you. Ozzy rushed from a distance, holding a huge machete in his stance, then jumped up suddenly, and slashed at the wolf's knee. Boom. The wolf took a step back, dodging Oz's slash, and at the same time hit Oz with a backhand, sending Oz flying hundreds of meters away. Puff. Ha 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 ha. No, I'm going to laugh. Sorry, I'm just. Ha 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 ha. I usually don't smile unless I can't help it. Ha 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 ha. Everyone in the Nether Pirates roared with laughter, and the laughter spread throughout the battlefield. Lucifer watched this scene from a distance and almost laughed out loud. That's what the legend says, you jump up and barely hit me on the knee. It's ridiculous for ordinary people to do this kind of action. It is even more ridiculous for an ancient giant family to do this kind of action. No wonder the younger brother couldn't bear it. In contrast, the members of the Whitebeard Pirates were ashen-faced. This scene is so insulting. Damn it, those bastards of the Nether Pirates are deceiving too much. I'll go up and kill them. I can't take it anymore. All the members of the Whitebeard Pirates charged forward with fierce faces and red eyes. Suddenly, the battle became more intense. It seems that your people are not very good? Shiryu of the Rain bit his cigar and smiled coldly. In front of him, Ace was panting violently, breathing very rapidly. On his chest, there was a gaping wound, and blood was gushing out. Fire Fist Ace, even if you become a homeless dog and join the Whitebeard Pirates, you still cannot take revenge. A man who cannot avenge his companions is a waste. With a captain like you, your companion is really pathetic. Although they were originally a bunch of trash. Shiryu's moves are not only cruel, but his words are also extremely sharp, like long swords, piercing Ace's internal organs. Shut up. Don't you insult my companion. Ace roared angrily, and the flames on his body erupted again. A ring of spiral flames spread from under his feet and spread outward. Then the endless flames fused together to form a huge fireball, which was pressed against Ace's finger. This fireball is like a sun, emitting endless heat. Great Flame Ring, Emperor Yan. Holding a giant great fireball, Ace slams towards Shiryu of the Rain. This is Ace's strongest ultimate move. One move can destroy a city. Facing the attack of the ultimate move, Shiryu did not retreat but advanced. With a big hand grabbing, a torrent of blood flew on the battlefield. Those are the blood from the dead bodies, now reduced to Shiryu's weapon. Ghost Blood Sea. Shiryu slashed furiously, and the torrent of blood instantly turned into a huge half-moon-shaped slash through the air, colliding head-on with Ace's Emperor Yan. Rumble. The extreme moves collide, and a powerful shockwave erupts. The blood and the flames each occupy half of the world, the two forces melt each other, and the aftermath sweeps thousands of meters around. Boom. 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 The sound of artillery fire and bombing resounded through the sky. Lucifer crossed his arms and stood on a boulder, looking at the battlefield below. The battle has been going on for more than an hour, and Lucifer has maintained this posture the whole time. As the battle situation changed, Lucifer's face became more and more beautiful. In contrast, Whitebeard, who stood in the distance with a pillar of knife, has an increasingly dignified expression. Because, in the absence of Lucifer, Whitebeard, and the Red Earl, the Nether Pirates had already gained the upper hand. In terms of high-level combat power, Lucifer has Wabel, Enel, Katakuri, Shiryu of the Rain, Pizarro, Chote, Katrine, Katakuri, Quinn, Golden Emperor, Smoothie, Wolf, etc. People in strength are all at the quasi-admiral level. On the other hand, the Whitebeard Pirates have too little high-level combat power. Whether it is the pirates with a bounty of more than 500 million, or the bottom-level combat power, the Nether Pirates are above the Whitebeard Pirates. It is only natural that the Whitebeard Pirates fell into a disadvantage. Little devil. Go to hell. Shiryu of the Rain slashed out a blood slash, hit Ace in the chest, and sent him flying for thousands of meters. Ace shot backwards and flew directly to the rear of the battlefield. After he was buried by rubble, there was no movement for a long time. Suffering such a heavy blow, even if Ace survived, he was already seriously injured, and his combat power was gone. On the other side, San Juan Bad Wolf swung his fist as big as a hill and hit Ozzy with one punch, knocking his huge body into the air. The steel armor that Ozzy used to protect his body was directly broken, he vomited blood, and smashed a group of pirates to their knees. After Ace, Oz also lost. At this time, the evil wolf has not yet activated the ability of Shishi Fruit. Katakuri and Marco fought fiercely, but the strength of the two was almost the same, and it was impossible to tell the winner for a while. The evil King Pizarro used lava fruit to cross the battlefield and cleared the battlefield. All pirates who approached him, whether they were enemies or companions, were all burned to ashes. The terrifying power of lava fruit is fully revealed. His opponent is Diamond Joz. Joz was barely able to stalemate with Pizarro, relying on the defensive power of his diamond body, but he was always suppressed, and it was only a matter of time before he lost. Enel's opponent is Foil Vista. Under the onslaught of thunder and lightning, Vista could barely defend and was unable to make an effective counterattack. Like Joz, he was also suppressed throughout the process. In other places, several weak captains of the Whitebeard pirates have already lost a lot. Team 6 Captain Bramink was defeated by Wable. Team 7 Captain Lacchio was sniped by Simon, his chest was pierced, and he was seriously injured and lost. The 13th Division Captain, Buffalo Atmos, was defeated by Cavendish. The captain of the 14th Squad, Speedo Kier, was defeated by Jack. In addition to these, more than a dozen pirate captains under the command of the Whitebeard pirates have also lost their combat power. If there is no movement from Whitebeard, the Whitebeard pirates will be completely defeated in this way, and will collapse completely. Marshal Sengoku, Lucifer and Whitebeard are at war. On the sea, a large marine fleet stayed on the outskirts of the desert island. On the main ship, a marine came behind Sengoku and reported respectfully. "Don't talk nonsense. How is the situation on the island?" Sengoku asked coldly. "The battle is fierce. The ghost pirates and the Whitebeard pirates are already out. It's just that, now only cadres from both sides join the battle, and Lucifer and Whitebeard haven't officially fought yet. However, the Nether pirates have the upper hand, and the Whitebeard pirates have already shown signs of failure. As things stand right now, the Whitebeard pirates won't last long." The report of the marine soldiers made Marshal Sengoku look gloomy. Although he knew that the Whitebeard pirates were no match for the Nether pirates, he never thought that the Whitebeard pirates would be so vulnerable. Only an hour after the start of the war, it was already almost unbearable. While Whitebeard hadn't made a shot, neither had Lucifer and the Red Earl. As it stands, even if Whitebeard joins the fight, Lucifer will still win. "Oh, it's scary, is Whitebeard about to lose?" Admiral Kizaru stood aside, pursed his lips and spoke. "I haven't seen you for a while, the power of the Nether pirates has expanded beyond our imagination." Admiral Aokiji also had a dignified expression, without any hint of slack. "I have always heard about the power of the Four Emperors Lucifer, but now it seems that the real Lucifer is more terrifying than the rumors." Admiral Fujitora opened his eyelids vigorously, but only a pair of pure white pupils were exposed, and he looked towards the desert island in front of him to see a doctor. Although there is nothing in sight, but there are many human breaths in his mind. Fujitora's observation haki is so strong that it has covered the entire desert island. The killing aura on the island has been locked by him, and the aura belonging to Lucifer made Fujitora feel a palpitation. It can't go on like this, Marine has to make a move. Sengoku originally wanted to wait until the Nether pirates and the Whitebeard pirates were both defeated before he joined the battle. But judging from the current situation, neither Lucifer nor Whitebeard intends to give Marine a chance. The reason why the two of them didn't make a move was to prevent Marine from inserting a knife in the back. Joining the battlefield now may cause hostility between the two pirates. Chief Staff Officer Crane Vice Admiral said worriedly. "I can't manage that much anymore." Sengoku's voice was cold, and endless killing intent shot out from his eyes. "The Nether pirates cannot completely defeat the Whitebeard pirates, otherwise they will carry a great victory, and it will be even more impossible for us to destroy them. Send my order, the whole Marine army will attack and land on the desert island. The target of killing the enemy is mainly the Nether pirates. Tell Shichibukai to contain and even kill the cadres of the ghost pirates. In this battle, they must do their best, otherwise they will also deprive Shichibukai of their title." In order to eliminate Lucifer, Sengoku has put all his strength and pressure on everything. In this battle, Victory is allowed and defeat is not allowed, and there is no room for laziness in paddling. When giving the order, Sengoku glanced at Kizaru next to him. The meaning was self-evident. Kizaru's heart skipped a beat and he pretended he didn't see it. Although his expression didn't change, he only called MMP in his heart. What are you looking at me for? Is the old man the kind of person who paddles and is lazy? The old man is very diligent now. Do you not need overtime pay for working overtime every day? Why don't you watch Aokiji? Is he lazy too? Just because he has been with you before and is the next Marine Marshal you like, you treat him differently? Isn't it fair? MMP, or the old man should resign. The job of Marine Admiral is too dangerous. If you are not careful, you will lose your life. Kizaru really wants to go all out on the battlefield and kill the quartet. But he was afraid of drawing Lucifer's attention. Kizaru knew that Lucifer was against him. Lucifer will see him as soon as he is on the battlefield. Even after all this time, Kizaru is still terrified of Lucifer. After successive battles, Lucifer has buried the fear deeply in Kizaru's subconscious. Set off. With an order from Sengoku, the large marine fleet immediately sailed to the desert island, and then landed on the island. A large number of marine soldiers rushed to the island, and at a glance, they looked like a group of densely packed ants. The battlefield is easy to find, just listen to the sound of gunfire. The 6 Shichibukai were at the front of the formation, rushing to the battlefield first. The pirate Queen Hancock couldn't refuse Marine's forced call in the end. Her arms couldn't twist her thighs, so she had to think about Daughter Island. Is this the all-out war between the Ghost Pirates and the Whitebeard Pirates? It's amazing. Empress Hancock looked at the battlefield in front of her, and couldn't help expressing emotion. Ah! Qingzhou touched his smooth head and sneered a few times. Such a large-scale war had never been seen even in his youth. Hawkeye didn't say a word, his cold eyes swept across the battlefield, looking for the opponent he wanted. Finally, Hawkeye's pupils shrank. He looked across the battlefield and found where Lucifer was. Looking at Lucifer, who was standing with his arms around his chest, Hawkeye felt his blood boil and his body got goosebumps. A strong fighting spirit emerged from the bottom of my heart, and instantly swam through my whole body. Every cell in his body was jumping for joy, driving him to attack Lucifer. When he regained consciousness, his hand was already on the hilt of the black knife. Kill. With Sengoku's order, the 200,000 Marines rushed out to the Nether Pirates camp. Is Marine finally here too? Lucifer looked at the rushing Marine, a cold light flashed in his eyes. Whitebeard, on the other hand, wasn't surprised by Marine's presence either. He had expected the current situation. On this battlefield, the 3 sides fight in a melee. No matter which side is the enemy, there is no alliance. While both Whitebeard and Marine aim to defeat Lucifer, they will not be allies. Yahahahaha, is it finally here? Enel laughed ferociously, and endless thunder and lightning erupted from his body. The sky thundered and roared, and thunder and lightning rained down. Boom. 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 Thick lightning struck the Marine army, triggering a series of explosions. In just one attack, hundreds of Marines were burned to ashes. Seeing this, Vista immediately launched an attack, but his sword energy had no effect on Enel. I saw that Enel, who had absorbed Luole, had turned into a huge Thor form. In the eyes of countless people, a huge Thor appeared on the battlefield. Call out. A ray of golden light pierced through the battlefield, hit Thor, and caused an explosion. But the violent explosion was like a breeze, unable to shake Thor one step. Today's Enel is not what it used to be. I haven't used Thor's form all this time, just to wait for this moment. Ha 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 ha, yellow monkey, your abilities are useless to me, get the hell out of here. Thor Enel looked at Kizaru in the sky, condensed Thor's trident in his hand, and shot out a thick brontosaurus. The brontosaurus roared across the sky, swallowing Admiral Kizaru in one gulp. Roar. The brontosaurus continued to roar, crashing headlong into the Marine army. There was a loud bang, and a huge fireball soared into the sky. Countless Marines were hit by the blast wave, leaving no one alive. With a flash of golden light, Kizaru shot out from the sea of flames and recovered the entity. He was unharmed, but looking at the dead Marine around him, Kizaru's expression was very ugly. Angry? Angry? Hit me. Thor Enel laughed wildly, and the huge Thor body turned into a bolt of lightning and shot towards Kizaru. Kizaru did not retreat but advanced, and at the same time turned into a golden light and shot out. The electric light and the thunder light collide with each other in the sky, Their speed is so fast that it is hard to distinguish with the naked eye. Everyone could only see the flashes of lightning and golden light in the sky, and every time they collided, a strong shockwave would erupt. On the other side, Pizarro, the villainous king, also grinned when he saw that Enel approached Admiral Kizaru first. "Little ghost. Lousy has no time to accompany you to the end, you can go down and drink milk first." Pizarro's right arm turned into the head of a magma beast, and he punched Diamond Joz in the chest. The terrible power of the magma coupled with the powerful emission hockey, even if Joz's body is a diamond, he can't resist it. Diamond's body was shattered inch by inch, Joz's chest was sunken, he vomited blood, and hit the rear hard like a cannonball. Many members of the Whitebeard pirates were smashed to pieces. Afterwards, Pizarro jumped up, and his lower body turned into magma, leading him soaring into the sky and flying into the sky. Ha 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 ha, Marines, die, meteor volcano. Pizarro's arms turned into magma, blasting out countless magma fists, pouring down like a torrential rain. 200,000 Marine soldiers looked up at the sky, and suddenly felt that the sky was fiery red. A natural disaster-like scene appeared in front of their eyes, making their livers tear apart. Lava lava fruit, this is Sakazuki Admiral's lava lava fruit ability. Damn pirates, I can't spare them. Sakazuki Admiral's ability, we must take it back. Use Admiral's ability to kill Marine. I will never allow Sakazuki Admiral's fame to be damaged after death. The Hawk Marine saw this scene and was furious. Marine Vice Admiral Rear Admiral attacked immediately, blocking the falling magma fist. But it's a pity that such a large-scale AoE group attack is not something that Vice Admiral and Rear Admiral can block. At the very moment, a gust of extreme cold air erupted from behind, sweeping across the sky in an instant. The cold air flashed by, and the fiery red sky disappeared instantly. The volcanic fists burning with flames were all frozen into ordinary rocks. Aokiji appeared in the center of the battlefield, frost condensed all over his body, and cold air was exhaled from his mouth. Although I don't like Sakazuki, it doesn't allow you to use his abilities to kill soldiers. With a wave of Aokiji's hand, 8 sharp ice spears shot out of the air and shot at Pizarro. Is it Aokiji? Such a trivial skill, you also want to use it against me? Facing Aokiji's killing move, Pizarro did not dodge or evade, allowing the ice spear to pierce his body. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Pizarro's body was instantly penetrated by the ice spear, leaving several large holes. But soon, magma flowed out of the cave, melting the ice spear and healing the wound. Aokiji, such tricks are useless against Lousy. I didn't intend such a trick to be useful to you. Whoosh, whoosh. There was a sound of breaking wind, and Pizarro and Admiral Aokiji disappeared at the same time. Then, a huge magma fist collided with a huge iceberg. Great eruption. Ice cube storm pheasant's mouth. Boom. The magma and the ice face each other, the magma melts the ice, and the ice freezes the magma. The two extreme forces restrained each other, regardless of the outcome. Terrifying aura erupted from the two of them, instantly forming a gust of wind and blowing in all directions. On the battlefield, there was a scene of half magma and general ice. The surrounding pirates and marines fled one after another, and no one dared to stay on this battlefield. Among the crowd, Tesoro the Golden Emperor laughed wildly when he saw Enel and Pizarro confronting Marine Admiral. We can't let them show off, it's time for the circle to take action. Boom. A powerful breath erupted from Tesoro's body, instantly covering the battlefield. Everyone was terrified, and saw that the ground under Tesoro's feet instantly turned into gleaming gold. The gold field continued to spread, and even the nearby hills and rocks were all turned into gold. Tesoro instantly created an open-pit gold mine. When the pirate saw this scene, his eyes popped out. The eyes of countless pirates radiate endless greed. A pirate is a pirate after all, and going to sea is for treasure. And now, the greatest treasure in the world is right in front of their eyes. A gold mine. Ha 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 ha, let's see the power of Lousy. The Golden Emperor Soro laughed loudly, waved his arms, and the gold under his feet suddenly surged. Gold like water gathered on it, instantly forming a golden giant with a height of more than 100 meters. The golden giant's body surface is also engraved with mysterious patterns, making him look even more hawky and unreliable. Golden divine fire. From the eyes of the golden giant, 2 hot laser rays shot out, hitting the marine army. Wherever the laser goes, the rock melts into magma, and the flames produced by the explosion spread in all directions. Many Marine soldiers died before they could react. In the awakened state, Tesoro uses the golden magic fire, and the laser is not only powerful, but also has an extremely long range. Even a warship tens of kilometers away can be destroyed in an instant. The lasers continued continuously, like two lasers passing over an ant's nest, causing heavy casualties to Marine soldiers. Gravity knife tiger. A shout of anger suddenly sounded, followed by an unrivaled huge gravity. The golden giant was hit hard, its huge body was directly sent flying more than 10 meters away, and the golden armor on its surface was also shattered. At the same time, the laser beam is also interrupted. Okay. Saved, it's a smile, Admiral. Great. Get back a little life. The Marine soldiers who survived the catastrophe panted heavily, feeling the joy of being alive. Tesoro turned his head and saw a blind swordsman standing on a stone, and the stone was suspended in front of him. I can't let you kill Marine so recklessly. As Marine Admiral, I have the responsibility to kill you here. Oh. Is it the new Marine Admiral? Tesoro was slightly interested. I've heard about you, and heard that your strength is terrifying, shaking the entire naval headquarters, so I directly took the position of Marine Admiral. I'm here today to experience your strength. Golden Divine Fire. 2 more laser beams shot at Fujitora, but they were chopped apart by Fujitora's sword. Shua. 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 Fujitora slashed at the air in front of him with his knife, and a circle of purple light shot up into the sky, piercing the sky in an instant, and shot out of the sky. Seeing this scene, the surrounding Marine soldiers fled one after another. They knew that Admiral Fujitora made a move, and this was his special move. These Marines have long known the power of this move. Huh. 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 There was a rapid breaking wind in the sky, and Tesoro looked up at the sky and saw a red dot appearing in the clouds. The red dot grew rapidly, and he finally saw the true face of the red dot clearly. It was a huge meteorite burning with flames, with a diameter of more than 300 meters. Usually summon meteorites, Fujitora will not summon such a big one. But this time it was to deal with the Nether pirates, so Fujitora didn't try it, and went all out. Facing Yun Shi Tianzheng, Tesoro did not dodge or dodge, but laughed excitedly. That's it, that's it. Only in this way is it exciting enough to be a Marine Admiral. Gold Industry Fire. Tesoro controlled the golden giant and punched the meteorite. A shock wave erupted, and the thermal radiation generated by the explosion caused a catastrophe. The huge meteorite shattered inch by inch, and exploded in the eyes of countless children. Golden Divine Fire. Gold Industry Fire. Destroying the meteorite, Tesoro slashes at Admiral Fujitora. Lasers intertwined with Karma Giant 10 punches, causing massive damage with each attack. Fujitora controls the boulder to fly in the sky, his movements are very flexible, and Tesoro's attack dodges. At the same time, launch a counterattack and attack the Golden Giant. It's just that the Golden Giant is too big, and its defense is too strong. Even if it bears Fujitora's attack head-on, it won't suffer much damage. For a moment, the battle between Tesoro and Fujitora was deadlocked and stalemate. As a result, Marine 3, Admiral were all intercepted, unable to get closer to Lucifer. Many Marine Vice Admirals and Marine Rear Admirals also entered the battlefield one after another, fighting with the pirates of the Nether Pirates and the Whitebeard Pirates. With Marine joining, the pressure on the Whitebeard Pirates has been greatly reduced, but the danger has also increased dramatically. After all, Marine wasn't there to help them. On this battlefield, there are no friends, and all 3 parties are enemies. On the other side, Shichibukai Hawkeye finally made his move. He stepped forward and suddenly pulled out the black knife behind his back. Hei Dao Yi, one of the 12 masters of the Supreme Great Kuei Dao, the only Da Kuei Dao Hei Dao that appears so far, is a famous sword worthy of the world's #1 swordsman in Song Dynasty. Seeing Hawkeye's move, both pirates and Marines looked sideways. Compared with Shichibukai, Hawkeye's title of the world's #1 swordsman is even louder. He is the strongest 7 warlords of the sea, with a brilliant record. Once fought with the red hair who had a broken arm, and the outcome was tied. Clang. I saw Hawkeye slashing with his knife. Obviously it was just a swipe, but it made a huge flying slash. The slash shot a dazzling cold light, causing countless people on the battlefield to squint their eyes involuntarily. Run away. Hawkeye's slash is coming, to be cut. Dead. Run away. Slashing the flying direction, Marine and the pirates fled one after another. This is the world's #1 slash. Even if it is only touched by the aftermath, it may be dismembered to death. Slash pierces the air and flies at an extremely fast speed, leaping thousands of meters in an instant, running through the entire battlefield, and slashing towards Lucifer. Come straight at me? Lucifer also thought that Hawkeye would choose Whitebeard as a target. Unexpectedly, he chose himself. The Red Earl took a step forward and was about to draw his sword, but was stopped by Lucifer. Don't worry, you don't need to take action yet. As soon as the words fell, a black shadow appeared in front of Lucifer, just at the place where the slash must pass. Clang. A round of blood moon suddenly bloomed, followed by an extremely stinky bloody smell. The blood moon slash and the eagle eye slash collided, and both exploded, turning into countless tiny sword chi and flying in all directions. The black figure looked up, revealing a grinning face biting a cigar. It was Shiryu of the Rain. Although he ate the blood fruit, Shiryu of the Rain is still a great swordsman. As long as it is a swordsman, no one wants to fight Hawkeye. Bang. 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 Shiryu walked through the air, carrying a blood-red aura, and rushed towards Hawkeye. If you want to attack the captain, you have to pass the level of lousy first. A knife fell, and a 100-meter sword energy was slashed out. Hawkeye's horizontal knife was in front of him, blocking the knife's energy, and then slashed horizontally. Rounds of black saber light roared out, like waves of tsunami waves. Wherever the sword chi passed, no matter if it was a marine or a pirate, they all felt their scalps tingling. Many people were dripping with cold sweat, and they couldn't help touching their tinling guy, wanting to see if their heads were still on their necks. A loud noise came from a distance, and everyone raised their eyes to look, and found that a mountain in the distance had been cut off in half. Half of the mountain rose into the sky, and the cut surface was as smooth as a mirror. This is the strength of the world's #1 swordsman. Countless people were dumbfounded, their faces dull. They finally understand what is the world's #1 swordsman. Just with a single swing of a knife, a mountain can be cut down. It's so strong, it really lives up to its reputation. When Shiryu of the Rain saw this, his fighting spirit became even higher, and the murderous aura burst out from his whole body, which made people terrified. Afterwards, the two top swordsmen fought fiercely together. The sword light is vertical and horizontal, and the sword energy is flying. Both of them swung their knives very fast, and in just the blink of an eye, they had already attacked hundreds of thousands. With two people as the center of the circle, within a kilometer range is not a safe area. Sword chi flew out one after another, tearing the earth apart and smashing the huge rocky mountain peaks. If you are not careful, you may be dismembered and die. Lucifer looked at the battle in the distance and smiled playfully. It seems that Shiryu is having a good time, at least Hawkeye won't hinder us. Red Earl Rider said, "This young man is very capable, worthy of the title of the world's #1 swordsman." Red Earl Rider himself is a peak swordsman. In the old days, there were very few people who could match his swordsmanship. Even by his standards, Hawkeye is impeccable. Hawkeye was blocked by Shiryu, and on the other side, the two women had also fought together. Katrine Demai, the hunter of Xuanyue, found Boa Hanku, the queen of pirates. Maybe it's because women can't understand each other by nature, and when they meet, they get very angry. I heard that you are the most beautiful woman in the world, but it doesn't look like much to me. Katrine said with a smile. HMPH, you are too presumptuous in front of my concubine. Empress Hancock pointed at Catherine, raised her head and yelled. Her habit is to look down at others, but when she looked down too much, she turned into looking up. With this skill, there is only one Empress in the entire One Piece world. Mero Mero Mello. The Empress made a gesture of love with hands, and released a heart-shaped light from it, hitting Katrine. But the expected petrification did not appear. After being tricked, Katrine still smiled coldly. Impossible. There are people in this world who are not tempted by the charm of a concubine. The Empress suffered a severe blow, and suddenly felt pain in her heart and difficulty in breathing. He. Katrine smiled coldly and said, I see, is it the ability to charm? It seems that my ability and your ability really don't match. While speaking, 9 tails grew from behind Katrine. While the tail was wagging, bursts of pink light were emitted, and a strange fragrance permeated the surrounding space. Inhaling the fragrance, the people around, whether they are marines or pirates, are all flushed and their eyes are blurred. Some people showed extremely wretched smiles, and the corners of their mouths were still drooling. Some people danced and grabbed the people around them, as if they saw a peerless beauty. Even women are charmed and cannot control themselves. Katrine is a zone, phantom beast, dog fruit, and 9 tails fox form ability. She can also cast charm skills. With this ability, all charm attackers have no effect. But at the same time, her charm attacks are also ineffective against Empress Hancock. Inhaling the enchanting aroma, Hancock remained awake without any changes. The Empress finally knew why Katrine said that their abilities did not match. The two are people with the same type of fruit ability, and they are both women, so they are born to be opposites. HMPH, don't compare my concubine's body with a woman like you. Even if she doesn't have the ability to bear fruits, she is still the most beautiful because of her body. No matter what wrong you do, you will be forgiven. Because, my body is too beautiful, devil fruit is just a decoration. Empress Hancock propped her chin with the back of her hand and said arrogantly. Katrine was expressionless. She looked at the Empress in front of her, as if she was looking at a fool. Is this woman sick? To be so narcissistic? Katrine has never seen a woman describe herself like this. Today the Empress opened her eyes. Perfume femur. Taking advantage of the moment when Katrine was stunned, the Empress had already launched a fierce attack. The slender white thighs had kicked towards Katrine. Katrine turned away, dodged the kick, and threw a backhand punch, but was also dodged by the Empress. Immediately, the two began to fight hand to hand. Don't look at them as two women, but whether it's fists or kicks, their power is terrifying. Everything that is kicked by the Queen, whether it is a person or an object, will be turned into stone. Katrine's strength should not be underestimated either. For a while, the two fell into a fight, and it was hard to tell the winner. Lucifer's eyes swept across the battlefield. Observation hockey enveloped the entire desert island, locking everyone's aura. Even if 200,000 elites from Marine join in, the Nether Pirates will not lose for a while. However, the large number of Marines is a problem after all. Baby 5. Asterisk. I'm here, Lucifer sleeping. Baby heard Lucifer's call, and immediately dealt with the Marines in front of him, jumped up and landed in front of Lucifer. Give me your order, Lord Lucifer. Lucifer smiled coldly. Let them see the real power of the Pluton cannon. Obey. Baby 5 bends its upper body and transforms into a huge cannon barrel. Metal light shone on the periphery of the cannon barrel, and circles of metal were spinning rapidly, starting to accumulate energy. Call out. The blue laser shot out instantly, hitting the Marine position instantly. With a loud bang, the boundless shockwave erupted, and the dazzling light directly blinded the eyes of thousands of people. Marine, which was at the center of the explosion, was vaporized into gas before it even had time to react. The shockwave raged past, each and every Marine was directly shattered, and then turned into fly ash and disappeared. Rumble. A huge mushroom cloud appeared on the battlefield, and the flames shot straight into the sky for thousands of meters. The flames spread, burning more Marines to ashes. The battlefield fell into a dead silence. At this moment, all the people who were fighting stopped their movements, staring blankly at the mushroom cloud in the distance. More than 200,000 people panicked and felt chills all over their bodies, and the cold air rushed from their heels to the back of their heads. What is this thing? Are you kidding me? Such an attack. Is it a natural disaster? It wasn't Lucifer who made the shot, it was the battle maid Baby 5. Just a maid with such power, how terrifying is Lucifer? Hundreds of thousands of people were all frightened by Baby 5's cannon, and as many people as possible put down their weapons. Even Whitebeard was a bit shocked at the moment. Such a trick can even pose a big threat to him. What Marine Vice Admiral, Elite Vice Admiral, will be wiped out under the Japanese artillery? Among the Whitebeard pirates, there are not many who can survive this move. Boom. The shock wave continued continuously, setting off a gust of wind and howling, sweeping across the entire desert island. The sea outside the island roared, and the waves roared, forming a tsunami and impacting all directions. Wait until the shock wave disappears and the solstice subsides a little. Everyone saw that a huge pothole appeared on the desert island. The pothole was bottomless. The rock had been completely melted into magma, and there was a layer of dense crystals. That's glass, the product of molten rock. There were no corpses left in the center of the explosion, everything had turned to gas. The eyes of many high-ranking Marines were tearing apart, especially Marshal Sengoku, whose eyes were already blood red. According to rough statistics, the Marine who died from the blow just now was at least more than 100%. This is really scary. A few drops of cold sweat rolled down Kizaru's face. At this moment, he was not saying his mantra, but expressing his feelings. Seeing the power of this cannon, he really felt a trace of fear. His sparkling fruit is extremely powerful, and the laser beam is powerful in destructive power, but compared with this blow, it is far inferior. Yeah, ha ha ha, of course. Baby 5 is the core cadre of our nether pirates. Without such strength, how can you become a core cadre? Enel hovered in front of Kizaru, laughing maniacally. Fighting alone, Baby 5 is indeed slightly weaker than Enel, Shiryu, and Wable, but the overall combat power and destructive power are actually almost the same. As long as there is the Pluton cannon, Baby 5 is the first firepower of the ghost pirates. On the other side, Admiral Aokiji, who was blocked by Pizarro, also constricted his pupils and was stunned. Even he couldn't stop the laser just now. Even if you want to stop it, you may not be able to stop it. The ultra-high temperature of the Pluton cannon can instantly vaporize the rocky human body. His ice is unstoppable. Forcibly block, if hit by Pluton cannon, it will directly hurt the body. Casting the Pluton cannon, Baby 5 cannot wrap armament hockey. But the super high temperature of the Pluton cannon alone can damage Aokiji's body. With this trick, Baby 5 is enough to make Marine Admiral helpless. Admiral Fujitora, who was fighting the Golden Emperor, could not see the situation on the battlefield, but his observation hockey could sense the sadness, fear, and despair emanating from the Marine position. Combined with the explosion he heard, he had deduced the situation on the battlefield. The Nether Pirates, it is unforgivable to commit such a great murder. Fujitora's face was ferocious, the veins on his neck were bulging, and he was already in a state of rage. HMPH, what is this? It's too early to get angry. The Golden Emperor's voice boomed and exploded in Fujitora's ears. None of the Marines who came here today can leave. Afterwards, the Golden Emperor launched a fierce attack and fought fiercely with Fujitora. On a boulder, Marshal Sengoku stared at Lucifer and Baby 5 from a distance, gnashing his teeth. He was so angry that his body was shaking. Lucy. F.A. Infinite killing intent erupted from Sengoku's body, forming an absolute murderous domain. Everyone listen to orders, attack with all your strength, and destroy Lucifer. Sengoku issued an order, and the voice spread throughout the desert island. At the same time, Sengoku also activates the fruit ability. He grew rapidly in size, emitted golden light, and instantly turned into a huge golden Buddha tens of meters high. Zone Phantom Beast Human Fruit Great Buddha Form. Sengoku hasn't made a move in decades, and many Marines are seeing Sengoku use his abilities for the first time. Baby 5's blow just now had a huge blow to Marines' morale. At this time, if he wanted to revive his morale, he, the Marshal, had to do it himself. Oh? Did you come up in person? Lucifer smiled playfully. Baby 5, give him another shot. The voice fell, and the baby who turned into a cannon barrel fired another shot of the Pluton cannon. The blue laser beam penetrates the battlefield and shoots towards the Marine position. Seeing this, Sengoku jumped forward, jumped to the front of the shot, and blasted out. Clang. The sound of the Golden Buddha's metal strike spread in all directions, and a powerful and terrifying shockwave erupted, scattering the blue laser rays. Countless tiny laser rays exploded and shot in all directions. The Pluton cannon is not so easy to block. Even if Sengoku can use the shockwave to break up the beam, the tiny beam will be hit by the wave. Just like Kizaru's flash ray, his ray also has this effect. Boom. 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 Hundreds of explosions sounded continuously, bombing the Marine position. Countless Marines screamed miserably, fleeing in fear. Although the casualties were not as good as the first time, more than 3,000 Marines still died in the aftermath of the rays. Baby 5 regained its entity, panting heavily. His face was pale, already covered in cold sweat. How is it? Can it last? Lucifer looked at Baby 5. Fortunately, no problem, but the Pluton cannon can only be used once. Baby 5 is just a woman after all, and his physique is not very heaven-defying. Even if she trains again, her physique can't be called a monster. Although the power of the Pluton cannon is terrifying, her physical strength is her only flaw. Today's Baby 5, the highest power Pluton gun can only be used 3 times. After 3 times, Baby 5 will fall into a weak state, and the combat power will not survive. Now that the war is not over, Lucifer will certainly not let Baby 5 fall into a situation where he cannot protect himself. So only 2 Pluton cannons are enough. The last time, it is most appropriate to use it at the end of the war. The front was hit by the Pluton cannon, and Marshal Sengoku was also uncomfortable, and was directly shot hundreds of meters away. The huge golden Buddha body fell from the sky and hit the ground heavily, smashing a rocky mountain to pieces. Father, that woman's attack is hard to deal with. On the other side, Marco flew up to Whitebeard. Looking at Lucifer in the distance, his expression is serious. Ah, it's hard to deal with, but depending on the situation, she won't be able to use it for a while. The power of the Pluton gun was too terrifying, killing more than 30,000 Marines in one shot. If one shot at the Whitebeard pirates, the Whitebeard pirates would be wiped out, and the war would be over. Whitebeard was also a little terrified at the moment. In the final analysis, Marine shared the pressure for them. Had Marine not intervened, Lucifer would have used this trick on their Whitebeard pirates. One shot down, the Whitebeard pirates are gone. The Nether pirates fought on two fronts, but so far they still have not lost the wind, which is a bit difficult to handle. Whitebeard has been paying attention to the battle situation and knows the current battlefield situation. Even facing the Whitebeard pirates and the naval headquarters army, the Nether pirates still did not show signs of fatigue. On the contrary, after the blow just now, the more he fought, the more courageous he became. Marco, tell them to go down and let them walk around the periphery, don't rush too far ahead. At the same time, keep fighting with the Nether pirates, don't divide the battlefield. Yes, father. Marco fluttered his wings and went down to deliver Whitebeard's orders. Whitebeard held Kong Yunki in his hand and stood still. Although he didn't make a proper shot, he has been accumulating momentum. When the time comes, it's time for him to make a move. On the other side, Sengoku rushed out from the ruins and charged towards the Nether pirates again. The shock wave of the great Buddha erupted, and directly killed a path of blood. Old fellow, you are very arrogant. Lucifer's eyes narrowed slightly, with a gleam of coldness. Lucifer's observation haki covers the entire desert island. While paying attention to the battlefield, he is also looking for some mice that hide their heads and show their tails. He has not forgotten that there is also an Admiral-level space system fruit ability user inside the World Government Palace. The CP agents currently appearing on the battlefield are not very strong, and the strongest is only comparable to the Marine Elite Vice Admiral. The mysterious space system ability user has been hiding and has not appeared. Lucifer, you've shown yourself. Suddenly a roar exploded in Lucifer's ear. I saw an orc with a height of more than 6 meters suddenly jump up and kill from the left side of Lucifer. He has the head of a rhinoceros, a single horn that is very sharp, and a mouth full of fangs. With a huge axe in hand, he slashed at Lucifer's head. Lucifer is the focus of the battlefield, with hundreds of thousands of eyes on him. Someone shoots Lucifer, instantly attracting everyone's attention. Who is that guy? How dare he shoot Lucifer? What a guts, I've never heard of him. The members of the Whitebeard pirates are all guessing who this person is. Judging by his appearance, he is not a member of the Whitebeard pirates, nor is he a Marine. Then there is only one possibility, one of the 7 warlords of the sea. I remembered, he is Kwang Shi, one of the new Shichibukai. A pirate was just about to shout, but he heard everyone on the battlefield screaming at the same time. Lucifer didn't dodge or avoid the rhinoceros that came to him. Raising his hand to grab it, the latter strikes first, and he directly grabbed the rhinoceros man's neck. Boom. With the force of Lucifer's palm, the rhinoceros exploded directly, turning into blood and flesh flying all over the sky. Ding. Host killed the pirate Lolius and got 45,000 killing points. Lucifer was expressionless, as if he had crushed an ant to death. After killing, Lucifer can also collect his devil fruit. Zone ancient species Niu fruit raging rhinoceros form, can be regarded as a good ability. Hiss. Hundreds of thousands of people on the battlefield gasped. Captains of Marine Vice Admiral, Shichibukai, and Whitebeard pirates were all stunned, with the corners of their mouths twitching. They were already speechless, not knowing how to express their inner thoughts at the moment. A Shichibukai, just so lightly killed by Lucifer. Killing him is no more difficult than killing an ant. Even Shichibukai were killed lightly, let alone them. MMP, that idiot Lolius. Sengoku in the distance cursed inwardly, his face livid. He summoned Shichibukai to deal with the cadres of the Nether pirates, not to send him to his death. It was stupid to take the initiative to find Lucifer. If Lucifer is so easy to kill, why should Marine be so mobilizing? After this incident, several other Shichibukai also died down. The strongest Lucifer is not something they can deal with at all. Lucifer looked at Sengoku in the distance and smiled coldly. Marshal Sengoku, is it your tactic to provoke me with an ant? If you want to kill me, why don't you try it yourself? HMPH, just come, I'm afraid you won't succeed. The Buddha jumped up, came to the top of Lucifer's head, and fell directly. Boom. A powerful shockwave whizzed out and hit Lucifer instantly. However, Lucifer was attacked but escaped unscathed. Not only that, but the rocky ground around Lucifer was not damaged in any way. Everyone saw that Lucifer also raised his palm, and there was an invisible force in his palm, which completely isolated the shockwave. Marine Marshal Sengoku, one of the two great legendary Marines of Naval Headquarters. Garp has been killed by me, how can you stop me? As soon as the voice fell, Lucifer disappeared in place in an instant. In the next second, the Buddha was hit hard, and a punch pierced through the body of the Buddha, and came out from the back. Pluton punch. Lucifer's fist was pitch black, and suddenly hit the Buddha's chest. With one punch, Sengoku's huge golden Buddha body was directly sent flying, and landed heavily in the distance. Call out. With a flash of black shadow, Lucifer has teleported to the Buddha. In the next second, Lucifer kicked the Buddha's head. The Buddha turned into a train and shot out backwards, spanning thousands of meters, crushing countless marine pirates into a pulp along the way, and finally crushing a mountain. Universal pull. Lucifer was so unreasonable that he raised his hand and grabbed the Buddha from the ruins. Shenluo Tianzheng. With a palm strike, Y-Info was sent flying again. Everyone saw that the body of the Buddha had split open, and countless golden blood splashed out from the Buddha's body, scattered in all directions. Martial Marine? That's all. Lucifer smiled indifferently, endless murderous intent erupted in his eyes. The battlefield fell into a dead silence, countless people were dumbfounded, and their livers were torn apart. What did they just see? A Marine Marshal, a legendary Marine soldier who has been famous for decades, was actually suppressed and beaten by Lucifer. However, in just 3 moves and 2 moves, Marshal Sengoku was seriously injured. Lucifer beats a Marine like a father beats a son. Sword of Judgment. Weeping blood and cutting the sky. Lucifer raised his hand and pointed, and a golden long sword was condensed in the air, with a body length of more than 200 meters. The endless golden light shrouded the earth, but it was the prelude to the deadly killing intent. Sengoku rose from the rubble, advancing instead of retreating. He knew that facing Lucifer's killing move, he had no way to retreat, nowhere to escape. Only by facing the enemy head-on can there be a chance of survival. Die. Lucifer's finger fell, and the golden long sword in the sky also crashed down. Before the long sword hit, it had already whipped up a violent wind and waves, impacting all directions. Big Buddha shockwave. Sengoku threw out both palms, hitting the golden long sword with shockwaves one after another. In the end, the two sides collided with a bang. There was a loud bang, and a bottomless gully opened on the desert island, extending to the sea tens of thousands of meters away. Sengoku's huge golden Buddha body was chopped off and smashed into 3 mountains one after another. The golden light on his body surface was extremely dim, and as the light weakened, Sengoku's body shrank rapidly, and finally returned to its original shape. Boom. Sengoku landed heavily, smashed a big hole in the ground, and rolled about 10 times in succession before finally stopping. Everyone saw that Marshal Sengoku was covered in blood and cuts and bruises all over his body. His body seemed to be smashed by Lucifer, and there were countless cracks and wounds all over his body, and there was hardly a single piece of intact skin and flesh. Sengoku twisted his arms, bone spurs piercing flesh. Apparently, Sengoku's arms are broken. If it weren't for everyone's observation hockey who could still feel Sengoku's breath, they would all think it was a corpse. Defeated. Sengoku is defeated. Too fast. Is Lucifer so strong? That's Martial Marine, a legendary monster that has survived from the old times to the present. It's not been 3 minutes yet? You lost to Lucifer? The members of the Whitebeard Pirates looked at each other with endless chills in their hearts. The name of a person, the shadow of a tree. They knew early on that Lucifer was very powerful. But at this moment, they understood what the concept of Lucifer's strength really is. Even if he is as strong as Martial Marine, he is as weak as an ant in front of Lucifer, vulnerable to a single blow. Your Excellency the Marshal, Marshal Sengoku. Quick. Hurry up and save people. Someone stop Lucifer. Seeing that Sengoku was seriously injured, hundreds of thousands of Marines suddenly panicked. Countless Marines stepped forward. Sengoku. A few Marine Vice Admirals are the fastest, stepping on the moonwalk and turning into black shadows and teleporting to Sengoku. Of course the one who wanted to save people the most was Marine 3, Admiral, but they were all blocked by people, and they had no time to rescue them. Your Excellency Marshal, are you all right? Military doctor, where is the military doctor? That bastard Lucifer, I can't spare him. The three Marine Vice Admirals lifted Sengoku up and cursed loudly. Suddenly, a Marine Vice Admiral stiffened and broke out in cold sweat. He stared blankly ahead, his face pale as paper. Hi. What's the matter with you? Save people quickly, what are you still doing? The two Marine Vice Admirals didn't understand, so they yelled loudly. In the next second, the bodies of the two of them also froze in place. The pupils of the two were constricted, their eyes were dull and they did not dare to blink. A gust of cold air rose from their backs and rushed straight to Tinling Guy. A Marine Vice Admiral turned back tremblingly, and found that Lucifer was already standing behind them at some point. Lucifer looked down at them from a height, his eyes were indifferent, without any warmth, as if he was looking at three ants. Lucifer. A Marine Vice Admiral roared, and immediately swung his knife back. In the next second, he was hit hard and shot backwards. Before he landed, his body exploded in midair, turning into blood and flesh splashing all over the sky. Explode. Lucifer said something lightly, and the other two Marine Vice Admirals also flew out of the hospital. There were two explosions, and the remains of the two Marine Vice Admirals were gone. Ding. Host kills Marine Vice Admiral Slink Ed, and gets 35,000 killing points. Ding. Host kills Marine Vice Admirals Missy Weir and gets 50,000 kill points. Ding. Host kills Marine Vice Admiral Blanchett and gets 40,000 killing points. Instantly killed 3 Marine Vice Admirals, and Lucifer gained more than 100,000 kill points, which is a good harvest. However, Lucifer didn't pay attention to the system, and now the hundreds of thousands of killing points can't move Lucifer anymore. The biggest prey is Marshal Sengoku, who is crawling at his feet. Lucifer. Sengoku still maintained his will and did not fall into a coma. He lay on his stomach in a pool of blood, staring at Lucifer with his eyes open. Sengoku's vision was already very hazy. In his vision, Lucifer's figure was shaking, and his face could no longer be seen clearly. However, the hazy eyes are still filled with infinite hatred. Garp. I can't avenge you. Sengoku is not afraid of death, he is just very unwilling. I am not reconciled that I did not get rid of Lucifer, a serious problem, and did not avenge my old friend for many years. Lucifer raised his right hand, and a golden long sword condensed and fell down. At the critical moment, the space around Lucifer suddenly split into 4 black holes. 3 black balls shot out from behind and shot at Lucifer's back. 3 figures shot out from the black holes in front, left and right. 2 of them launched a fatal attack on Lucifer, and 1 shot at Sengoku in an attempt to save him. The killing moves of the 4 were caught off guard, and the people in the rear attacked the enemy and would save them, forcing Lucifer to give up killing and turn offense to defense. The left and right flanked, distracting Lucifer. The last man to rescue Sengoku. The 4 are all Admiral-level fighters, and they cooperate seamlessly and have an incomparable understanding. Well done, I'm waiting for you. Lucifer has known for a long time that there is a space system ability user inside the World Government Palace, and he has already prepared for it. And his observation hockey has also predicted the future and saw the next picture. Lucifer's eyes flickered coldly, and with a wave of his finger, the golden sword suddenly burst into golden light, turning into 6 golden swords. 3 golden swords destroy 3 space black balls. 2 golden swords, 1 left and 1 right, forced the 2 of them back, and the last golden sword shot at Sengoku. They want to save people, but Lucifer refuses to let them do so. Boom. In a short moment, the duel was over. The joint attack of the 4 Admiral-level forces was easily resolved by Lucifer. The people who rescued Sengoku were also forced back by Lucifer. The sudden scene stunned hundreds of thousands of people on the battlefield. No one expected that at this critical moment, 4 more Admiral-level combat forces joined the battlefield. Of these 4 people, 1 was wearing black clothes, a black cloak, and a black mask. Judging by the breath, Lucifer recognized that he was the mysterious space system ability user. The other 3 wore white clothes, white cloaks, and white masks. But both the clothes and the mask are inlaid with golden patterns. Even wearing a mask, Lucifer can still sense the superiority of the 3 of them. The smell was very disgusting and disgusting. Celestial dragons? Lucifer is very familiar with this breath, it is celestial dragons. Just different from ordinary pig dog celestial dragons, these 3 celestial dragons are very strong and already Admiral level. 3 adults, Lucifer is very strong, don't be careless. The mysterious space system ability user reminded. We know this, Ghost, and we don't need you to remind us. Don't be so self-righteous, it's not your turn to dictate in front of us. In order to deal with a mere low-class pariah, let us do it ourselves. Marine is really incompetent. Hey, Sengoku, are you still alive? Don't lie there and pretend to be dead, it's too embarrassing to be a marine marshal. The three celestial dragons opened their mouths one by one, and the arrogance in their voices overflowed. Ordinary celestial dragons are incomparably arrogant and superior. Not to mention these three powerful celestial dragons. Lucifer glanced at the four of them and smiled indifferently. Only four are here. Sengoku, they can't save you. As soon as Lucifer pointed out, he fired a laser beam and shot at Sengoku's head. 4 Admiral-level combat forces were repelled, and no one could save Sengoku. You dare. Damn untouchables, dare to act fiercely in front of me and the other three. Too arrogant, looking for death. The three celestial dragons were furious, but they had no time to save Sengoku, and could only watch as the laser shot at Sengoku's head. Call out. At the very moment, another black shadow came through the air. With a flash of swordlight, the laser beam was directly chopped into pieces. Everyone, I'm not late, am I? The visitor smiled slightly, revealing a sunny and mature face. It was 4 Emperor's red-haired Shanks. Red hair. Why is he here? Are the red hair pirates going to war too? Here we come. Everyone from the red hair pirates is here. Some pirates exclaimed, and everyone saw that a group of densely packed pirates was coming from a distance. The number exceeds 20,000. Depending on the situation, the red hair pirates are also here to deal with Lucifer. Otherwise, there's no need for him to save Sengoku. The members of the Nether Pirates all had heavy hearts, and Enel, Shiryu the Rain, Pizarro and other cadres also had ugly faces. They have absolute confidence in dealing with the Whitebeard pirates. The subsequent addition of the Marine Grand Fleet is also at the top of their plan. But then the Celestial Dragons join the fray, albeit only 4 of them. But all 4 of them are Admiral-level fighters, enough to change the situation on the battlefield. Now the Red Hair Pirates are back to join in the fun. It is equivalent to the Nether Pirates fighting against the Whitebeard Pirates, Naval Headquarters, Celestial Dragons, and Red Hair Pirates on their own. The pressure is too great. Red Hair. Do you want to be my enemy too? Lucifer looked at the red-haired Shanks, expressionless, as if he had expected his appearance. The redhead smiled faintly, and said, I'm here to end this war. Lucifer, you are strong, and the whole world knows it. But if the fight continues, it will be of no benefit to anyone, it will only increase the fearless sacrifice in vain. Lucifer, you don't want all your subordinates to die here, do you? The war has lasted until now, and it can be over. Please give me some face. Face. Lucifer laughed mockingly. Red hair, you don't have such a big face with me. What if I have to keep fighting? Then I will join the battle. The red hair pulled out the long knife at his waist, and Haki said awe-inspiringly, come on, let us be your opponents. The cadres of the Red Hair Pirates came out from the rear and lined up behind the Red Hair. Red Hair Pirates is known as the most balanced and most powerful pirate group. Although they are small in number, they are all elites, and TNB's strength is also extremely terrifying. Especially the Deputy Captain Beckman, whose strength is of the 4 Emperors class. In the original, Admiral Kizaru raised his hands and surrendered the gate with just 1 pistol. Sure enough, the red hair is still here. Father, what shall we do now? Marco flew up behind Whitebeard, asking for his opinion. Just wait, this war will not end so easily. Whitebeard said flatly. Father, what do you mean, Lucy won't continue to fight? Ah, that's right. This brat won't stop. No way? Marco looked at Lucifer from a distance, disbelieving. In his opinion, the war should be over now. You know, the Nether Pirates are now facing the Whitebeard Pirates, Naval Headquarters, Celestial Dragons and the Red Hair Pirates. No force can fight against such a terrifying force on its own. Even if it is the strongest Nether Pirates in New World today, Marco doesn't see any chance of winning. Ha 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 ha. Lucifer's laughter was so loud that it spread throughout the battlefield. Everyone saw that Lucifer spread his demon wings and slowly flew into the sky. Today's war of the century, only my will can bring it to an end. No matter how many enemies come again, they will eventually crawl under my feet. The Nether Pirates obey the order, wash the desert island with blood, and kill all the invading enemies. Obey. Kill. Under Lucifer's order, the Nether Pirates rioted again, and their momentum increased instead of diminished. Even if the enemy is so terrifying and powerful, they still have a high fighting spirit and show no fear at all. Everything comes from the power of Lucifer. Lucifer, you will regret it. The red-haired stared suddenly, and he was no longer the funny character he used to be. Lucifer smiled coldly. In this world, no one can make me regret it, and I won't regret it either. Whoever wants to be the first to die, come up. As soon as the words fell, a celestial dragons teleported to Lucifer, fist clenched, covered with black lightning, and hit Lucifer's head. Wherever the fist goes, the space distorts and shatters. You lowly pariah, go to hell. Boom. Lucifer raised his hand and grabbed celestial dragon's fist directly. The crushing power on the fist was directly crushed by Lucifer with armament hockey. Then, Lucifer jerked and punched celestial dragons in the chest. Empty shock moon howling wolf. Roar. The invisible howl of wolves resounded through the sky, and the space atmosphere was shattered inch by inch. Celestial dragons screamed in horror, and in the next second, his body was also shattered, turning into countless broken flesh and blood, flying in all directions. Flesh and flesh fell all over the sky, as if it was raining blood. Ding. Host beheaded celestial dragons Don Quixote Moribaz, and got 360,000 killing points. With just one move, an admiral-level force was already dead in Lucifer's hands. When the red-haired Beckman saw this, the corners of his mouth twitched, and his face became more dignified. Lucifer is more vicious and cruel than they imagined. Moribaz. Damn untouchables, dare to kill celestial dragons. Do you know who he is? Dare to hurt celestial dragons, are you trying to provoke the gods of the world? The remaining 2 celestial dragons cursed and roared wildly. Lucifer was expressionless, did not speak, and disappeared in a flash. Be careful. Redhead, Beckman, and the ghost roared in warning. However, they were still one step too late. Lucifer appeared directly behind the 2 celestial dragons as if teleported. Hold the heads of the 2 with both hands, and smash them hard towards the middle. Boom. The 2 heads burst open like watermelons, and blood and brain matter flowed all over the ground. Ding. Host beheaded celestial dragons Charos Goodwin and got 330,000 kill points. Ding. Host beheaded celestial dragons Sherba Sarah, and got 340,000 killing points. Throwing down the 2 headless corpses casually, Lucifer's kill points increased by another 60,000. With the addition of the first celestial dragons, Lucifer has over 1,000,000 kill points in one go. Glancing at the attribute panel in front of him from the corner of his eye, Lucifer's total kill points had reached 2,846,000. Properties panel. Host. Lucifer age, 24. Devil fruit. Word spirit fruit, awakened, physique, hell devil. Armament hockey. Domain observation hockey, domain. Conqueror's hockey. Domain kill points, 2846000. Now, if Lucifer breaks out with all his strength, killing admiral-level combat power is really like killing ants. Shaking the blood off his hands, Lucifer looked at the 3 red-haired men and smiled bloodthirsty. The breath of the celestial dragons is really disgusting, so I send some of them to hell first, you don't mind? The entire battlefield has also been startled by Lucifer's ruthless methods at this moment. Hundreds of thousands of marines and tens of thousands of pirates are all terrified and dumbfounded. Hey, isn't it scary? Am I dreaming? Are you kidding me? Marco's brain was blank, and cold sweat was already all over his face unconsciously. He felt that he was dazzled just now, as if he had seen a hallucination. You know, the 3 celestial dragons who died in the hands of Lucifer were all veritable admiral-level combat power. Each has the strength to suppress the sea, but such a powerful combat power was killed lightly by Lucifer. That man is not a monster, but a demon. It's a demon from hell. Is it really possible for us to defeat such a demon? Not only Marco, but also the other captains of the Whitebeard pirates, and the subordinate pirate captains, are all extremely terrified at the moment. They didn't realize that their bodies were already shaking. They don't want to be afraid, but the instinct of the body cells can't be controlled. Fear emanates from every cell. Yeah, ha, sure enough, I knew that Captain Lucifer is the most fishy. Enel, who was suspended in the sky, laughed wildly, while Admiral Kizaru opposite him had a gloomy expression at the moment. His pupils constricted, and the depths of his eyes were full of fear. To say among the 3 admirals, who is the most terrifying to Lucifer, it is undoubtedly Admiral Kizaru. Seeing Lucifer beheading 3 celestial dragons one after another, Kizaru felt like quitting. He was terrified, and just wanted to escape from this battlefield as soon as possible. Lucifer looked like an impossible monster to defeat, and now it was too late to escape. Marine Admiral's responsibilities are nothing compared to his life. On the other side, Admiral Aokiji also looked dull at the moment, unable to describe the shock in his heart with words. Lucifer kills Admiral like an ant, doesn't that mean he can be killed lightly? Hey, Aokiji, where are you looking? The evil King Pizarro grabbed Aokiji's flaw and punched Aokiji's chest. Powerful magma erupts, and it is covered with high-density armament haki. Pizarro also used the armament haki internal destruction technique. This move directly hurt Aokiji's internal organs, causing him to vomit blood. Admiral Fujitora is relatively easy among the three, because Golden Emperor is not as strong as Enel and Pizarro, so he doesn't put so much pressure on Fujitora. Even if the flaws were exposed, they were not injured. However, the killing caused by Lucifer still shocked Fujitora. Marine, it's dangerous. There are rapidly changing pictures in Fujitora's mind, and those are all for the scenes that will appear. That's right. Fujitora's observation haki has also cultivated to the level of predicting the future, even higher than Katakori's level, seeing the future farther. In the future picture that Fujitora saw, he only saw Marine with countless tragic deaths, and naval headquarters was defeated. Although the future is likely to change, Fujitora is powerless to change the doomed fate at this moment. In the sky, Lucifer stood suspended, and the demon's wings flapped gently. Redhead, you shouldn't be here today. Red hair pirates are doomed from the moment you step on the battlefield. Lightsaber Bachi Chong Guyu. As soon as the voice fell, countless lightsabers crashed down and shot at the red hair. The red hair dazedly drew out the saber, and a round of black and red slashes pierced through the air, smashing all the lightsaber into pieces. With a flash of black shadow, the red hair rushed to Lucifer and chopped off with a knife. God avoids. The black and red knife light fell, only slashing Lucifer's face. Lucifer recognized that this is the special trick of One Piece Roger. Redhead inherited Roger's will and grew up all the way, learning his tricks as a matter of course. Lucifer grabbed it with a big hand, and a long knife automatically appeared in the palm of his hand, and the same knife fell down, colliding with the red-haired twin swords. Boom. The Conqueror's haki of the two erupted at the same time, and the imposing tsunami bombarded tens of thousands of meters in an instant. Conqueror's field? No, it's just half a step, I haven't really stepped into the field yet. Redhead, your conquerors are not far off. Lucifer roared, and the higher-level Conqueror's haki broke out instantly, directly defeating the red-haired conquerors. The endless imposing shock rushed in all directions like rounds of shock waves. All the pirates and marines who were impacted lost consciousness and fell into a coma. The redhead was also repelled and fell from the sky, smashing a hill to pieces. Bang! 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 Beckman fired several shots, aiming at Lucifer's vital parts such as the brow, throat, and heart. When he shoots, he instills high-density armament haki. The power of the bullet is comparable to Kizaru's laser beam, and even more penetrating. Stop. Lucifer snorted coldly, and naturally all the shots stopped in midair. Let's go back. All the way through the voice, the bullets fired by Beckman returned the same way, and the speed was even faster. Beckman dodged bullets, but a bullet grazed his cheek, leaving a gash. At this time, the red hair struck again. He slashed continuously with his knife, and more than a dozen flying slashes combined with Conqueror's armed colors shot out of the air and shot at Lucifer. At the same time, CPO's ghost agents also struck again. With a wave of his hand, the space suddenly rippled. Lucifer's figure flickered, dodging slashing and space attacks 10 times. The slash shattered a mountain behind Lucifer, and where the space attack went, it directly swallowed half of a mountain. The fruit of space is the top of the top in Paramecia's ability. Not only can it travel through space at will, but it can also shatter space, and even shatter and eliminate everything. Even without armament haki, having this ability can erase the entity of a Logia user at will. Erasing space means erasing everything. Lucifer was suspended in the sky, fighting against the red hair, Beckman and the ghost alone, without any loss. He opened his hands, and the whisper of the devil suddenly sounded. Gravity crush. With Lucifer as the center, the powerful gravitational field spread out, covering a radius of several kilometers in an instant. The powerful gravity erupted, and countless pirates and marines were all crushed to the ground. Then, bang, 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 bang. The bodies of the pirates and marines exploded like bursting watermelons, flesh and blood flew everywhere, and yellow and white things were scattered all over the place. Even Marine Vice Admiral was directly crushed into a pulp by Lucifer's gravity field. One kill, Thousands died at Lucifer's hands. The electronic sound of the system kept ringing, and Lu Shi was expressionless. Escape. Leave the captain's gravity field quickly. Guys who don't want to die, leave quickly. Stay out of the captain's attack range. Cavendish, Jack, Baby 5 and others yelled one after another and began to direct the battle. Lucifer's ultimate move is too terrifying. Once activated, it will be indistinguishable from friend or foe. In the field of gravity, only Redhead, Beckman, and Ghost survived. However, the three of them were also pressed half-kneeling on the ground. The weakest Ghost among the three vomited blood. Crush. Boom. Shatter. Boom. Destroy it. Boom. The earth wailed, and Juan raised several levels again. The Ghost vomited blood, and was already lying on the ground, howling. Redhead and Beckman also clenched their teeth tightly, unable to make any movements. Under Lucifer's gravity field, the three of them seemed to collapse at any moment. Captain. Vice Captain. Seeing this, the cadres of red hair pirates in the distance rushed towards the red-haired Beckman immediately, wanting to save him. Do not come. The redhead roared, you can't hold it. The red-haired armament hockey covered the whole body, resisting Lucifer's gravity. He understood that he could not let his companions run to rescue them. Lucifer's strength is too terrifying. Once they come over, they will be killed instantly. Your captain is right, you should just stay here obediently and watch the redhead get killed. A black shadow flashed, and Cavendish came over the heads of Laji Lu and the others. With a wave of his hand, the sickle weasel condensed with massive rocks had already slashed at Laji Lu and the others. Clang. A flash of sword light flashed, and the giant sickle weasel was chopped off in the middle. The person who made the shot has long yellow hair, and he is one of the leaders of the red hair pirates, Lime Jones. Bang. 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 Usopp fired several shots, aiming at Cavendish's vitals, trying to shoot him down into the sky. But at the same time that Usopp fired, Cavendish also fired shots in the afternoon. Usopp's bullets were all intercepted in midair. Usopp aimed his gun at the direction where the gunshot sounded, but there was no one there, and even observation hockey didn't catch the target. The one who shot was the white Shinigami Simon Hay, the #1 sniper of the Nether Pirates, and the transparent fruit ability user. With the transparent fruit covering his figure and aura, Simon is like a fish in water in this battlefield where dragons and snakes are mixed together. Since the beginning of the war, he has not revealed his whereabouts. Maybe he won't show up until the war is over. Sniper marksmanship is the first, knowing how to hide yourself is the second. Simon Hay is both, making him the most insidious lion majesty in the showdown of the century. Subsequently, Jack the Ripper, Baby 5, Shawlock Smoothie, Shawlock Cracker, Shawlock Owen and others also joined the battlefield one after another, blocking all the cadres of the red hair pirates. In terms of the total number of troops, the Nether Pirates are indeed inferior to the four major forces. But in terms of high-level combat power, the Nether Pirates are no less than the four major forces. Even if one person fights against the four major forces, the high-level combat power is more than enough. Boom. An invisible shock wave across the battlefield hit the gravity field created by Lucifer. Click. 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 The sound of atmospheric shattering sounded, and Lucifer's gravity field was shattered together with the atmosphere. Redhead, Beckman and Ghost took the opportunity to escape. Lucifer flew over and looked southeast, expressionless. Whitebeard, are you finally going to make a move? It was Whitebeard who made the shot just now, otherwise no one would be able to shatter Lucifer's gravity field. Gu la 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 la. Whitebeard laughed boldly, seeing you fighting so fiercely, my hands are a little itchy. I haven't experienced such a bloody battle for many years. Whitebeard held Kong Yunki and pointed at Lucifer from afar. It wasn't that Whitebeard was going to save someone, it was that he had to. Although he doesn't want to join forces with the red hair and the government, but the current situation does not allow him to hesitate. He has already seen that Lucifer's strength is far above that of the red-haired Ghost and others. If he didn't make a move and watch the red-haired Beckman being killed by Lucifer, the Whitebeard pirates would collapse in the next moment. The lips are dead and the teeth are cold, Whitebeard must make a decision. Lucifer smiled indifferently, and said, since we have made a move, let's do it together. Use your heads today to lay the foundation for my Nether Pirate's path to godhood. Boom. A terrifying momentum erupted from Lucifer, instantly forming a shockwave and tsunami impacting all directions. With Lucifer as the center, within a radius of 10,000 meters, all the pirates and marines exploded at the same moment, leaving no complete corpses. The earth was shattered inch by inch, with countless cracks all over. The rocky mountain was cut open, and ruins and rubble were scattered all over the place. Conqueror's Field. When Whitebeard and the red-haired two saw the explosive Lucifer, their pupils constricted immediately, and an unprecedented dignified expression appeared on their faces. Only the two of them know what the Conqueror's Field really means. Conqueror's Haki, a power that only the Chosen One can awaken, 1 in a million. The Conqueror's Haki Field is a realm that only one person out of millions of Conqueror's Haki Awakeners can set foot on, and it can be said that there is no one in a billion. No one has set foot in the realm of Conqueror's Haki since the old days crumbled. Whitebeard had also set foot in this realm when he was young, but now he is too old, his secret injuries have occurred, his strength has declined seriously, and he can no longer use the Conqueror's realm. As for the redhead, although Conqueror's qualifications are unprecedentedly strong, but now he is only half-stepping into the Conqueror's Field. Although it is only half a step away, this half-step is like a sky, far away without end. Maybe the red hair may not be able to take that half-step in his life. The battlefield has been opened, let's go together. The battlefield has been opened, let's go together. Lucifer's voice boomed, resounding through the sky. Whitebeard jumped straight into the Conqueror's domain, heading for Lucifer. He also uses his Conquerors, which is used to counteract the suppression of the Conqueror's Haki Field. On the battlefield with a radius of 10,000 meters, Lucifer faced Whitebeard, Redhead, Beckman and Ghost alone, and the fierce battle was about to start. Father, I'll help you too. Marco turned into a phoenix and flew from afar. But a black shadow appeared above his head and shot him down with a knife. It was Wabel who made the shot. Wabel held a naginata and intercepted in front of Marco. The tall body, the same Whitebeard, and the naginata make Marco doubt life. Stop. Captain Lucifer said, you can't go over there. Wabel will not speak harshly, he will only follow Lucifer's orders. As soon as the words fell, Wabel had already activated the fruit ability, and soon turned into a golden dragon. Roar. The golden dragon roared, soaring into the sky, carrying a huge gust of wind. Hey, are you kidding me? Isn't this Kaido's ability? That bastard Lucifer really took away Kaido's abilities. This guy is hard to deal with. Foil Vista, Diamond Jazzy and others came to Marco, and they all looked at Qinglong Wabel with serious eyes. Roar. Wabel opened his mouth and spit out a mouthful of heat, and the long column of flames flew over 1,000 meters, directly submerging Marco and Vistahas. Captain Marco, Captain Joz, Captain Vista. The members of the Whitebeard pirates were shocked and shouted. The next moment, 3 figures sprang out from the flames and flew into the sky. Marco turned into a phoenix and charged at the dragon with blue flames. Foil Vista's 2 swords come out at the same time, and the petals are in full bloom between the lights of the swords. The sword light merged into a cross, which struck Qinglong's abdomen. Joz's attack is the most direct, using physical collision. The attacks of the 3 hit Qinglong at the same time, but Qinglong Wabel only moved his body and was not injured. It is not that simple to break the defense of Qinglong's scales. It seems that there is still a gap in military strength. Lucifer is suspended in the sky, and observation Haki covers the entire battlefield, locking all the breath of life. Although there is no shortage of high-level combat power, there are still insufficient soldiers at the bottom. The bottom pirates of the Nether Pirates are indeed elite, but the pirates of the Whitebeard Pirates and Red Hair Pirates are also elite. Coupled with Marine's army of hundreds of thousands, there is a huge gap in the number of Nether Pirates. That's right, if it drags on, the Nether Pirates will collapse. The redhead said from the side, Lucifer, there is still time for a truce. Collapse. Lucifer smiled mockingly. It's too early to talk about collapse. How do you know that I only have these troops? What did you say? A bad premonition surged in the redhead's heart. His eyes scanned the battlefield, and his pupils constricted instantly. He didn't notice it before, but now he noticed it. The troops that Lucifer brought this time are all pirates. There are no Wanokuni samurai and fur tribes. Although the number of these 2 parts is small, their combat power is very strong. Lucifer is going to war, there's no reason not to take them. Lucifer seemed to see through the inner thoughts of the red hair, and said with a smile, it seems that you have noticed. However, you still guessed wrong. I'm talking about military strength, not warriors and fur tribes. Quinn. Lucifer's roar spread across the battlefield, and Quinn, who was fighting, immediately responded. I'm here, Captain Lucifer. After taking refuge in Lucifer, Quinn became very honest. Facing a terrifying and cruel captain, he had to be honest. Let them out. Yes, Captain Lucifer. Quinn smiled coldly, turned into a brachiosaurus across the battlefield, and returned to the back of the Nether pirates. There, a group of pirates are ready. They opened 5 metal boxes, and as Quinn started the program, Wushuang's red eyes lit up inside the box. Boom. 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 5 loud bangs exploded, and 5 figures rushed out of the box and joined the battlefield. These 5 people are obviously sea-stone humanoid weapons made by Quinn. Whoosh. 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 A humanoid weapon fired a laser beam into the battlefield, causing an explosion in an instant. The second humanoid weapon shoots lightning from its mouth. The third opens the weapon hole all over its body, and fires hundreds of missiles. The fourth sprays flames, directly creating a sea of flames, and the fifth has sharp barbs all over its body, rushing directly into the battlefield. All the pirates and marines he came into contact with were smashed to pieces, leaving no bones left. What kind of monster is that? Is it human? No, no, there is no human breath, it's a robot. What a strong strength. There are many pirates who know how to use observation hockey on the battlefield, and they can tell at a glance that these 5 humanoid weapons are not human. However, the terrifying power of the humanoid weapons made them terrified. Several pirate captains stepped forward to fight humanoid weapons, and they were all killed in an instant. Soon, they discovered that these humanoid weapons could not only use powers such as lasers, lightning, flames, and strong winds. They are still made of sea stone, which not only has amazing defensive power, but also is harder than diamonds, and can also restrain demon fruit power. To make things trickier, humanoid weapons can use armor colors and observation hockey. The overall combat power is comparable to Marine Admiral. 5 humanoid weapons are equivalent to 5 Marine Admirals, and they are Marine Admirals who are not afraid of injury or death. Admiral-level combat power, one is amazing enough to change the pattern of a war. But now, there are 5 of them in the Nether Pirates, why not let them be startled? Yeah, ha ha ha, go up, wipe out all the enemies. Show the world your power. Quinn stood on a boulder and let out a sharp laugh. He was even more proud of watching the humanoid weapons kill the enemy. The Seastone humanoid weapon is his highest masterpiece, a perfect fusion of human and technology. In this world, he is the first person to reach this level. Even Vegapunk, known as the world's #1 scientist, can't match him in this respect. With 5 Admiral-level humanoid weapons joining the battle, the pressure on the Nether Pirates has been greatly reduced and their morale has been greatly increased. Facing the frenzied killing of 5 humanoid weapons, no one can resist, and the battle situation presents a one-sided situation. Kizaru, Aokiji, and Fujitora wanted to go up to support, but were blocked by Enel, Pizarro, Golden Emperor, and DeLong. The Golden Emperor can't beat Fujitora, so the wolf joins the battle halfway, and the two team up to fight Fujitora. There were 4 interceptions, Marine 3, Admiral was out of reach. Similarly, the high-level combat forces of the Whitebeard Pirates and the Red Hair Pirates were all intercepted. They could only watch the 5 humanoid weapons madly massacre their bottom companions. Seeing this situation, the Red Hair couldn't help but change color. Lucifer, you are hiding so deeply. Lucifer smiled lightly, no one will play all their cards, of course I am the same. Also, you can guess again, where did my samurai army and fur tribe army go? You. Redhead, Beckman, Ghost and Whitebeard suddenly changed their expressions. Yes, it seems you guessed it. Lucifer smiled and said, Naval Headquarters is coming out in full force, and the combat power of the Holy Land Marie Joys is also coming out in full force. How can I let go of such an opportunity? You can take a closer look. Which of my subordinates hasn't appeared yet? Berndi Waldo. Redhead said the name word by word. That's right. You sent them to Naval Headquarters in the Holy Land Marie Joys. The ghost howled loudly. Ha 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 ha. Lucifer looked up to the sky with a long smile. That's how interesting it is. I can take down the Whitebeard Pirates, Red Hair Pirates, Naval Headquarters and Marie Joys all at once. After the end of the First World War today, this world is mine. You're dreaming. The ghost roared loudly, is the power of the Holy Land as close as you, a lowly pirate, can know? You let them invade the Holy Land, but you are only seeking your own death. The redhead also said, you want to destroy us all at once, Lucifer, you are too arrogant. Whitebeard also laughed boldly, little devil, you are really too arrogant. Am I arrogant? Lucifer said blankly, no, I'm just stating a fact. You're right, Ryder? Ah, that's right. A swarm of bats flew by, coalescing into Ryder's body behind Lucifer. Whether you win or lose depends on today's battle. Do it. As soon as the words fell, Ryder had already shot. With a flash of swordlight, the ghost was directly chopped off. The two of them exchanged quick moves and huddled together in the distance. Lucifer, on the other hand, faced Whitebeard, Redhead and Beckman alone. Empty shock. Whitebeard swung Kong Yunki and slashed furiously, causing the atmospheric space to shatter immediately. A terrifying shockwave instantly enveloped Lucifer. Dissipate. Lucifer waved his hand, and the power of the shockwave was immediately weakened by 90%. The remaining 10 hit Lucifer like a breeze. At the same time, the killer moves of the red-haired Beckman and the two also followed one after another. The red hair is fully armed with color and conqueror's hockey, slashing through the air and attacking, tearing the sky and the earth. Instead of attacking Lucifer with a pistol, Beckman also used a sword as a weapon. He is actually a great swordsman at the pinnacle. The configuration of the Red Hair Pirates is very similar to that of the Roger Pirates. The captain and deputy captain are both masters with swords. The wall of vacuum. Lucifer raised his hand and pointed, condensing the wall of vacuum to block the two people's slashes, and at the same time made a backhand attack. Infinite gravity field. The terrifying gravity instantly permeated the Conqueror's field. Under the suppression of the dual domains, Whitebeard, Redhead, and Beckman were immediately affected, and their speed and strength were greatly reduced. Swish. A black shadow flashed, and Lucifer teleported directly in front of the red hair. Light saber judgment blade. A sword fell, and the terrifying armed color and conqueror's hockey erupted suddenly. The red hair was directly chopped off by a sword, and the whole person shot backwards, leaping thousands of meters. At the same time, the conqueror's hockey in the field also solidified and began to attack the redhead. Conqueror's hockey condenses into countless swords, cuts the red hair black and blue. Light saber overlord myriad tribulations. Lucifer took advantage of the victory to pursue, raised his hand and condensed a 100-meter giant sword, and slashed down with anger. The atmosphere is split and cracks appear in the space. In the end, the giant sword hit the red hair. Rumble. The island trembled, the ground trembled and the mountains shook, and a mountain instantly turned into dust. The red hair was hit by the giant sword, and his life and death were unknown. Shanks. Beckman roared loudly, but he didn't lose his mind, nor was he overwhelmed. Instead, he attacked Lucifer with a deadly move. At the same time, Whitebeard's killing move followed. Whitebeard usually teleports behind Lucifer, and the terrifying conqueror's hockey erupts in an attempt to frighten Lucifer. His fist has also fallen towards Lucifer, and a transparent light circle is condensed on the fist, which is the terrifying ability of shock fruit. The two came at the same time, one left and one right. Lucifer did not dodge or dodge, and raised his hands at the same time, palms facing the two. Shenluo Tianzheng. The terrifying repulsion combined with the armed color and conqueror's hockey suddenly roared out like a tsunami. Beckman's sword slash was directly defeated, and he was also sent flying. Whitebeard is a bit stronger. Shenluo Tianzheng's repulsive force and Kongzhen's fist collided, and they were evenly matched for a while, and they were stalemate. Rumble. A terrifying shockwave erupted, and the conqueror's hockey of the two also entangled and collided with each other. Countless black and red lightning turned into lion majesty, crisscrossing and dancing wildly. With Lucifer and Whitebeard as the center, all rocks within a kilometer radius are destroyed. The collision of the conqueror's hockey formed a gust of wind that soared into the sky, piercing through the clouds in the sky, leaving a huge hole with a diameter of more than a kilometer. The battle between the two seemed to pierce the sky. Whitebeard, you don't look very old, but that's about it. Lucifer grinned grimly, and the repulsion force of the heart, armed thunder energy, and conqueror's cooking energy suddenly increased by one level. Boom. Whitebeard's seismic power was directly defeated, and the terrifying repulsion directly hit Whitebeard's chest, and then broke out. Whitebeard's pupils shrank, he let out a muffled grunt, and a mouthful of blood spurted out involuntarily. Afterwards, he slid backwards, and his feet plowed across the ground, leaving 2 deep ravines. In the end, Whitebeard was about to fall, but he held on and stood up straight. Dad. Seeing that Whitebeard was injured and vomited blood, members of the Whitebeard pirates who had been paying attention to the battle suddenly exclaimed. A group of pirates ran towards Whitebeard, as if to support. However, the moment they stepped into the field of Conqueror's hockey, their bodies exploded directly. Flesh and blood flew everywhere, but no bones remained. Don't come over. Whitebeard let out a roar, and retreated a group of pirates who still wanted to go forward. Whitebeard knew exactly how terrifying the Conqueror's hockey realm was. Don't look at him as if he didn't feel anything inside the field, but he used his Conqueror's hockey to cover the surface of his body, blocking the ubiquitous and all-time attacks. Once a person with insufficient strength steps into this field, he will step into the underworld hell, and he will be dismembered and died in an instant. Damn it, are we just watching and doing nothing? That bastard Lucifer, how dare you hurt Daddy? I can't spare him. Why am I so weak? If I could be stronger, it wouldn't be this result. The members of the Whitebeard pirates secretly hated themselves for being too weak. If they had enough strength, they would be able to fight side by side with Whitebeard instead of just watching helplessly and being helpless. Daddy. Among the many members of the Whitebeard pirates, only one person is qualified and has the strength to break into the Conqueror's hockey field. He is Marco. The moment he saw Whitebeard was injured and vomited blood, Marco turned into a phoenix and flew towards Whitebeard. His ability and armament hockey can protect himself from fatal damage. However, Wabel would not let him go. Countless sharp wind blades spewed out from the mouth of the green dragon, all of which hit the phoenix and shot Marco down into the sky. The phoenix can fly, but the blue dragon can also fly, and at a faster speed. On this battlefield, Wabel can almost be regarded as Marco's natural enemy. No matter what method he uses, it is impossible to ask Qinglong Wabel. Boom. In the Conqueror's field, a piece of rubble exploded, and the red-haired Shanks escaped. Shanks, are you okay? Beckman yelled in the distance. It's okay. I can't die yet. The red hair wiped a trace of blood from the corner of his mouth, and his expression became more serious. Endless Conqueror's hockey gushes out from his body, envelops his whole body, and fuses with armament hockey to form a set of two-color hockey armor. The terrifying aura formed a shockwave, which briefly forced the surrounding Lucifer's Conqueror's hockey back. Oh. Twice. Lucifer frowned, showing a sneer. Although he didn't completely repel his Conqueror's attack, but he was able to protect himself, which is quite remarkable. Likewise, Whitebeard in the distance has also created a two-color hockey armor to protect himself. Although his grades are old and his strength is declining, Whitebeard can no longer use the Conqueror's hockey field. But making a piece of hockey armor can still be done with the current Whitebeard. Compared with the two of them, Beckman is far behind. He has not awakened Conqueror's hockey. Although armament hockey has been cultivated to the peak level, he can make armament hockey armor. But fighting Lucifer's Conqueror's hockey field with just a single hockey armor is clearly not far off. A cold light flashed in Lucifer's eyes, instantly increasing the strength of the Conqueror's hockey domain. Beckman's armor was impacted, and cracks appeared suddenly. Call out. A black shadow flashed, and Lucifer had teleported to Beckman. You should get out. Shenluo Tianzheng. Boom. Lucifer's palm hit Beckman's chest, and the terrifying repulsion and two-color hockey power poured out immediately. Lucifer's attack was so fast that Beckman had no time to react, and the attack was already imminent. Click. 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 The armament hockey armor was shattered inch by inch, and the hockey fragments dissipated invisible. All of Lucifer's attack power hit Beckman, directly breaking his flesh and blood, and coming out through his body. Puff. Flesh and blood flew, and blood spattered. Beckman's eyes widened and eventually dimmed. I saw that a large hole had appeared in Beckman's chest, with light from the front and back. With Lucifer's palm, he pierced Beckman's chest directly, and all internal organs, flesh and bones were blown away. With a plop, Beckman fell to his knees and fell at Lucifer's feet, completely out of breath. Ding. Host killed the pirate Ben Beckman and got 390,000 killing points. Beckman is a true 4 Emperors level combat power. Although he is not as good as Kaido and Big Mom, he still has 390,000 killing points, which is a big gain. Beckman. Seeing that Beckman was killed, the redhead suddenly turned red with eyes and roared, Lucifer, I can't spare you. God avoids. With a slash of Hong's knife, a black and red slash with a diameter of more than 300 meters suddenly came through the air. Slash combines high-density armed color and Conqueror's hockey. Even if it is Marine Admiral, it will cause serious injuries with this knife. Explode. Faced with the incoming slash, Lucifer did not dodge or dodge, and greeted with open arms and chest. In the next second, the slash exploded and turned into countless tiny sword chi, which were wiped out by the Conqueror's hockey domain. I told you, you have no chance of winning. Today, everyone will die here. After speaking, Lucifer raised his foot and kicked Beckman's body towards the redhead. The redhead raised his hand to catch it, his face was full of grief, and his eyes were full of anger and killing intent. Boom. At this moment, a shock wave of terror came down, covering Lucifer in an instant. It was Whitebeard who made the shot. Red-haired brat, now is not the time to be sad. Before you came, you should have been prepared to die, right? Our opponent is Lucifer. It is impossible to defeat him without sacrificing. After speaking, Whitebeard jumped up and jumped into the air above Lucifer's head. Whitebeard's eyes were red, and the Conqueror's haki surrounded him like a piece of armor. The blade of Kong Yunki, the supreme great sharp knife, was pitch black, with a sharp edge shining. Clang. Kong Yunchi slashed down angrily, and was immediately shocked. Boom. A golden long sword blocked Kong Yunki, and the Conqueror's haki collided between the swords, forming a crimson ball. Countless black and red lightning bolts erupted, scattered and criss-crossed. What? Whitebeard roared angrily and swung the knife with all his strength. Armament haki and Conqueror's haki also played ultimate. The ground under Lucifer's feet was shattered inch by inch, and the cracks spread around and gradually sank. Just when Lucifer and Whitebeard were in a stalemate, the red hair also struck again. With a flash of the knife, the red hair had already slashed towards Lucifer's back. Clang. In an instant, the attack was over, and the red hair had teleported. Click. Click. A few slight voices sounded, and the redhead turned back, seeing several cracks in the armament haki armor on Lucifer's back. Is the defense broken? There was joy in the redhead's eyes. The fight continued until now, and this was the first time they had broken Lucifer's defenses. Boom. With a loud noise, the armament haki armor behind Lucifer exploded, and a smear of blood sprayed out. It worked. The redhead is excited. After many hardships, he finally wounded Lucifer. Being able to hurt Lucifer means that there is hope of defeating him. As long as we find another chance, we may not be able to completely wipe out Lucifer. The red-haired fighting spirit increased sharply, and the murderous aura and Conqueror's haki on his body were raised to another level. However, a strange smile appeared on the corner of Lucifer's mouth. Boom. With a sudden swing of the golden sword, Conqueror's haki was engulfed in powerful sword energy, directly tearing Whitebeard's Conqueror's attack, and knocked him back at the same time. Lucifer's back had been cut by the red hair with a huge gash, but Lucifer ignored it, as if he didn't feel it at all. So you can get hurt too, Lucifer. This is the first time. The redhead knew that since his debut, Lucifer hadn't been injured, not even shed a drop of blood. This was definitely the first time. Yes, it is indeed the first time, Lucifer said blankly. Turning around, Lucifer looked at the redhead and smiled evilly. You seem very proud of hurting me? Ah, yes, I do feel a little excited. The red hair roared angrily. If I can hurt you this time, I can kill you next time. Today, I will avenge Beckman and send you to hell. Hong pointed the knife at Lucifer, and the murderous aura erupted on his body, turning into an invisible tsunami that enveloped Lucifer. Lucifer smiled charmingly. Do you know what despair is? You. The red-haired face changed, but Lucifer spoke again. The deepest despair in the world is not seeing one's companion die tragically and being powerless, nor is it being helpless in the face of death, but that one still has hope in one's heart. Give him hope, and then completely destroy his hope at the moment when he is full of hope. This is the deepest despair in the world. You. The red-haired stared at Lucifer, his pupils constricted, as if thinking of something. His expression was infinitely frightened and distorted, full of disbelief. Yes, I am your despair. Lucifer smiled charmingly, and said lightly, recover. The moment the voice fell, the wound on Lucifer's back healed instantly, and the whole process took less than a second. The redhead watched the wound on Lucifer's back heal, and fear filled his heart. At this moment, the red-haired fingers were cold, because all the blood in his body had flowed to his feet. The instinct of the body told him that he should run away at this time. The red-haired will not want to escape, but the instinct of the body is already ready to escape. You. Impossible. The redhead didn't want to believe that such a thing could happen in the world. His knife was cut so deep that anyone would have been seriously injured. But Lucifer healed himself with his abilities, which is as simple as eating and drinking. Don't believe it. Lucifer smiled evilly. If you don't believe me, try again. Lucifer opened his hands, retracted the armament haki armor, and pointed his chest at the red hair, revealing all the flaws in his body. If you don't believe me, do it again. I'll just stand here, and I won't dodge or dodge. If you want to kill me, try it. The calm posture, the calm and indifferent voice, everything all set off Lucifer's self-confidence. However, in the eyes of outsiders, Lucifer is humiliating the redhead. No defense, no dodge, no dodging. Let a 4 emperors big pirate attack, no one in this world would dare to do such a thing. Even the taboo pirate locks would not dare to do such a thing. In the distance, Whitebeard wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, and looked at Lucifer with extremely serious eyes. Observation hockey told him that Lucifer was not talking big, he did have such confidence. Outside the forbidden battlefield, the Whitebeard pirates, Red Hair pirates and Marine all noticed Lucifer's actions, and many people heard what Lucifer said. At this moment, hundreds of thousands of people were all shocked by Lucifer. How arrogant is this? It's simply too arrogant. Kill him, Captain Cooks. Kill him and avenge the vice captain. Damn Lucifer, go to hell. The loudest shouts were without a doubt the members of the Red Hair pirates. Whether it's killing Beckman or humiliating the Red Hair, Lucifer's actions are undoubtedly humiliating the Red Hair pirates. None of us at Red Hair pirates will tolerate such a thing. The Marine side and the Whitebeard pirates were expecting Red Hair to seize the opportunity and kill Lucifer in one fell swoop. Conceited bastard, just die like this. Damn devil, just fall. Only the members of the Nether pirates remained silent, and no one showed a worried expression, but they were watching a good show. They are the ones who know best how terrifying Lucifer is. The Red Hair was trembling from Lucifer's anger, and the eyes were red as if they were about to shed blood. Damn bastard, don't regret she after you die. Damn bastard, don't regret it if you die. The red shadow flashed, the Red Hair had teleported in front of Lucifer, and the famous knife griffin had already slashed on Lucifer's neck. Like Lucifer said, he didn't dodge, nor did he defend with armament hockey. The Red Hair chopped down without any hindrance. The sharp long knife easily tore through Lucifer's flesh and cut off his neck. When the knife was over, Lucifer's head shot up into the sky, and at the same time, a column of blood gushed out. Oh! Seeing Lucifer being beheaded with a knife, countless pirates Marine roared again and again, and their joy was beyond words. Dead. Finally dead. Arrogant bastard, let you be arrogant, now it's too late to regret. If you dare to take Captain Shank's attack without defending, this is the end. Bastards of the ghost pirates, your captain is dead. Put down your weapons and surrender. A roar echoed on the battlefield, and the roar spread over a radius of more than 10 miles. Marine, 3 Admiral, the seriously injured Sengoku, and various Marine executives also looked at the beheaded Lucifer with a dull expression, with disbelief on their faces. Hey, can't you? How did Lucifer die? Impossible. Kizaru couldn't believe it, he knew best how terrifying Lucifer was. If it is so easy to kill, why should Marine fear it like a tiger and mobilize the crowd so much? Admiral Aokiji and Fujitora couldn't accept this fact for a while. The redhead was also a little shocked at the moment. As the person who cut off Lucifer's head with his own hands, he couldn't accept the current reality the most. Is it hard to kill Lucifer? Of course it is difficult, otherwise there is no need for so many of them to join forces. Is it easy to kill Lucifer? Of course it was simple, he just swung the knife lightly to do it. Looking back at Lucifer's headless body, the red-haired face was dignified, and he did not let down his vigilance at all. The same is true for Whitebeard on the other side, with an extremely serious expression, even more dignified than before. He has traversed the sea for decades, and has extremely rich combat experience. He knew that Lucifer was not such an easy enemy to kill. It's just that he couldn't figure out how to revive Lucifer whose head was severed. Could it be possible to be reborn? Whitebeard couldn't believe something like this was happening in the world. Even Marco, who claims to be able to heal all wounds and repair all injuries, cannot come back from the dead when the entity is injured and its head is severed. Lucifer, what else do you have? The redhead stared at Lucifer's headless body, Joe Gong. He knew that Lucifer was not dead. His observation hockey can still sense Lucifer's breath, and the Conqueror's hockey field created by Lucifer has not disappeared. There are indications that Lucifer is still alive. Did you find it? Lucifer's voice suddenly sounded, although it was flat, it exploded in everyone's ears like thunder. Everyone saw that Lucifer's severed head could still speak. Lucifer's headless body raised his hand and grabbed his own head. Just like that, Lucifer lifted his head and looked at the redhead and Whitebeard. Hey, can't you? Admiral Aokiji looked at Lucifer's actions, his face covered with cold sweat. This is really scary. The same is true for Kizaru. Cold sweat has flowed all over his body, and beads of sweat are all over his face and neck. Impossible. Lucifer can't be alive. Why aren't you dead yet? The devil, he knows evil. A demon from hell, immortal? The pirates and marine, who were previously excited, fell into deep despair and panic at this moment. There is nothing more hopeless than having hope and then having that hope destroyed. Logia ability. Is Lucifer a Logia ability user? A marine vice admiral opened his mouth to conjecture. No. Lucifer is a person with the ability to speak fruit, it's paramecia. He has no Logia elemental abilities. A marine vice admiral spoke in the negative. That's right, even if he's Logia, he can't stop the red-haired armed color and the conqueror's hockey slash. Lucifer was indeed beheaded, a marine vice admiral said unwillingly. Although the reality is hard to accept, it is the reality. But why? Why didn't he die after being beheaded? Can the self-healing ability of the word spirit fruit even repair such an injury? Hundreds of thousands of marines and the pirates of Whitebeard Red Hair Pirates are all staring at each other. Lucifer's terrifying powers were driving them crazy. Damn Lucifer, is this your power? After the seriously injured Sengoku was rescued by Marine, he received emergency treatment and managed to regain some strength. Seeing the heaven-defying power displayed by Lucifer, he couldn't help feeling desperate and cold all over. Is this what you intend? The redhead sensed the horror and despair permeating the battlefield, looked at Lucifer and asked in a deep voice. As the atmosphere of panic spreads, the fighting spirit of the Red Hair Pirates, Whitebeard Pirates, and Marine has dropped sharply, and the chances of winning are getting lower and lower. That's right, this is the deepest despair I give them. Lucifer said, holding his head. Recover. A dull voice fell, and a black mist surrounded Lucifer's broken neck. Soon, a new head grew back. There is not even a trace of scars on the neck, as if it has never been cut off. Then, Lucifer squeezed the severed head in his hand and exploded it into a cloud of black mist. How does it feel to crush your own head? Lucifer just wants to say, very exciting. How about it? Do you still want to try? Lucifer opened his hands and smiled calmly. Can you believe it, Red Hair? Even if I stand here and let you attack, you can't hurt a single hair of mine. No matter what kind of injury you cause me, I can recover in an instant. My physical strength is boundless, and I can maintain my absolute peak condition at any time. From the very beginning, you have no chance of winning. Boom. As soon as the words fell, Whitebeard teleported behind Lucifer, and a punch hit Lucifer's lower back. With a bang, Lucifer's body exploded directly, turning into flesh and blood, flying in all directions. But in the next second, an indifferent voice sounded in the surrounding void. Recover. As soon as the words fell, countless flesh and blood all condensed automatically, and Lucifer returned to the entity. As Lucifer said, he was unscathed, and his breath was not weakened in the slightest. Sneaking from behind is not a good habit, Whitebeard? Lucifer looked at Whitebeard, joking. Lucifer, kid, I really underestimated you. Whitebeard's tone was cold, exuding an endless chill. But hidden behind this chill was a deep sense of powerlessness. Facing such a heaven-defying Lucifer, Whitebeard already felt helpless and desperate. Lucifer smiled lightly. Okay, enough fun, it's time to end this boring farce. Universal pull. Lucifer grabbed Whitebeard with a big hand and pulled Whitebeard directly towards his palm. At the same time, Lucifer turned his palm into a fist, and a transparent light circle was condensed on the fist, which was the power of the earthquake. Whitebeard couldn't resist the pull of universal pull. He raised his hand and clenched his fist while flying towards Lucifer, posing his most accustomed posture, also using the earthquake force. Boom. Both fists clashed, and a terrifying shockwave erupted instantly. With Lucifer and Whitebeard as the center, the atmospheric space around them is completely shattered. Lucifer suddenly pushed his fist forward an inch, directly crushing Whitebeard's seismic punch, and then smashed into Whitebeard's chest. Click. 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 The atmospheric space was completely shattered, and the shock wave erupted suddenly, pouring in all directions like a flood. The earth cracked more than a dozen huge cracks, extending for thousands of meters, and all the marine pirates fell into the bottomless abyss along the way. Whitebeard vomited blood profusely, his chest had been sunken, and a large hole had been punched out, bones and flesh and bones could be seen faintly. After flying upside down for hundreds of meters, Whitebeard swung Kong Yunki and stabbed it into the ground, forcefully propped himself up to prevent himself from falling down, and spewed out another mouthful of blood. After being hit so hard, Whitebeard's breath was extremely weak, and his face was pale with almost no trace of blood. Whitebeard is now seriously injured and dying. The reason why he is still alive depends on his iron will.